You know what I'm talking about.
No, I understand you.
Yes, I.
What I'm saying.
Yes.
The reality is that the process begins first and only with self-awareness. So we're trying to go into fourth gear long before we put the car in our first and second.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So the process is. The process begins with self-awareness.
Self-awareness. Yep.
First.
We inform
what we are doing here. What we are doing here, just these very conversations. You see, greatness does not recognize itself while it is being great, you know. Greatness just a do it if it do. Greatness is usually recognized in the aftermath. But in the very time when the greatness occurs. So here we have in this conversation. You know, the next 25, the next 50, 70, 100 years, these conversations may quite possibly be put and taken by the young men of the future and put into a book and become the next Garvey.
Yeah, but Excellency, as I said, we are in light years, you know. We're in warp speed right now. We're, as a man think it, so is he. And I keep saying this. What is stopping us from crossing these so-called challenges? That is not a challenge, because we're in a baby state, as we all just acknowledged a while ago. So we
need to stop saying that. No, Katanka, we're not in a baby state. Listen to me.
Our people mentality is of a servitude.
Listen to me. Yes. Let me remind you again, the progress of our people.
Yes.
The progress of our people. Within the last 100 years, for example, there have been 10 men who profoundly affected the direction that all of us are now taking. Bob Marley, Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Haile Selassie, a couple of people. You understand what I'm saying? It hasn't been a crowd.
Yes.
So the concept and the idea of trying to educate and get everybody ready has never been. It has always been what we call
this is
the divine majority. Now, there is a numerical majority, but there's also a divine majority. Mm-hmm. That even though...
Mute your phone, Michelle.
So me, you...
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Colonel, and Chief, me there, so now with General Pink. We are clearly making greater inroads towards progress than the Bala crowd.
I know that you're afraid. No. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible.
Government!
It's a choice I leave to you.
Pull up, my selector.
Hotel, this is King Alibaba. I represent for the International Morning Right Show. You know, told you. Outep, this is King Alibaba, straight out of Make Money Record. I represent for what you don't know, the International Morning Right Show. Every Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with the five masterman like Gadites. See me told you. Outep, this is King Alibaba, straight out of Make Money Record. Jamaica, I represent for the International.
Yeah, man, Gram Smog, you don't know when I'm listening to the radio and, you know, tuning onto the internet. Got to keep my radio.
This shipment is expected to land in Jamaica on or before Thursday of this week. I wish also to announce the provision of an additional arrival, some 14,400 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine that will be delivered to the island.
People them not take it vaccine. What a panic and a food them pick and take. Go a cutting at the snow make you damn afraid. Our population suffocate can't breathe. Here's a difficulty so me not cut it damn space. The young prince running one say. Vibration fuck me like force fail. Take it lead dance all watch it stampede. People them not take it vaccine.
The shipment is expected to land in Jamaica on or before Thursday of this week. I wish also to announce the provision of an additional arrival, some 14,400 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine that will be delivered to Ireland.
People them not take a vaccine. What a panic and no food empty canteen. Power cutting at the snow make you damn praise. Our population suffocate can't breathe. Days are the fittest so me not cut it damn spade. Ready, a young prince running wholesale. The vibration something like force fail. Take a lead dance all watch it stampede. People them not take a vaccine. Not take a vaccine. The people them not take it. Nah, take it vaccine. Nah, take it vaccine. Nah, take it. Copy how we city full of mass. Me just brief to survive cause the world full of grass. Dimension it reach time for all of cost. Tell the shepherd a sheep ya one born a last. How the enemy becomes loving when your mind dark. Melanin skin color fi protect him and knock. Remarks I'm immune to me tell you from me heart. Take a while for your wake you know turn a drunkard. Flow them sick it walk it leave them aggravated. Be a mockery them go on with even motivated. 6 full of style get you captivated. No jokes them do this consecutive. Use mind power, destroy the negative. Constant me do this, use negative. Advance next level, different energies. We am a field dog like I'm here on the premises. People them not take a vaccine.
Hey, I'm a DJ, pull that up again.
People them not take it. Not take a vaccine. People them not take a vaccine. Not take a vaccine. People them not take it. Nah, take it vaccine. People them not take it vaccine. What a panic and no food empty canteen. Power cutting at the snow make you damn afraid. Our population suffocate can't breathe. Days are the fittest so me not cut it damn spade. Ready, a young prince running wholesale. The vibration something like force fail. Take a lead dance all watch it stampede. People them not take it vaccine. Not take it vaccine. The people them not take it.
Could you possibly come again?
Shipment is expected to land in Jamaica on or before Thursday of this week. I wish also to announce the provision of an additional arrival, some 14,400 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine that will be delivered to Ireland.
People them not take a vaccine. What a panic and no food empty canteen. Power cutting at the snow make you damn praise. Our population suffocate can't breathe. Days are the fittest so me not cut it damn spade. Ready, a young prince running wholesale. The vibration something like force fail. Take a lead dance all watch it stampede. People them not take a vaccine. Not take a vaccine. The people them not take it.
People there, move.
Not take a vaccine. Not take a vaccine. Not take it. Not take a vaccine. Every Catholic copy how we city full of mass.
Hey, I'm a DJ, pull that up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again.
Up. Don't let them set you up.
Clear.
They will set you up. What is man that Jah is mindful of him? When every day the world is mingled up in sin. We see them all opposing and show off. We not the race of life. Later when I go laugh, don't let them set you up. I don't wanna be set up.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now.
They
I know
will
that you're
set you
afraid.
up.
You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change.
Don't let them set you up.
I don't know the future.
No.
I didn't come here to tell you
They
how
will
this is going to
set
end.
you
I
up.
came here to tell you how it's going to begin.
Hey, what is man that Jah is mindful of him? them set you up. Don't let them set you up. No, I don't wanna be set up. Don't let them set you up. Set you up, yeah. Every man had the same chance. Every man had the same dance. Everybody in a romance, like the world in a lost trance. Yes, they got the system fighting against the things to make us all. Yes, to live as one, but they've got a master plan. Don't let them set you up. Don't make them set you up. No, no. Babylon can't set me up. Don't let them set you up. No, no. People are gonna talk, people are gonna laugh. Again. People are gonna pass some dirty remarks. Oh, my friend. Them say no watch the dog way you back. Oh, no. Got some of them soul it last. Whoa, yeah. Oh God, don't let them set you up. No, no. Babylon can't set we up. No, no. Don't let them set we up. No, no. Marcus can't be living. We're living out of Babylon. Oh yes. And they can't stop no time. The progress of this nation. No, no. So don't let them set you up. Don't let them set you up.
Expected to land in Jamaica on or before Thursday of this week. I wish also to announce the provision of an additional arrival, some 14,400 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine that will be delivered to the island.
People them not take a vaccine. What a panic and no food them pick and take. Power cutting at the snow make you damn afraid. Our population suffocate can't breathe. Here's a defeat so me nah cut it damn spade. Ready, a young prince running wholesale. The vibration something like force fail. Take a lead dance all watch it stampede. People them not take a vaccine. Not take a vaccine. The people them not take it. Nah, take it vaccine. Nah, take it vaccine. Nah, take it vaccine. Nah, take it. Nah, take it vaccine. Every Catholic copy, our city full of mass. Me just pray for survive, cause the world full of grass. Dimension it reach time for your holocaust. Tell the shepherd that sheep, yeah, one born and last. So the enemy becomes loving when your mind dark. Melanin skin color, we protect him and knock. Remarks, I'm immune to me, tell you from me heart. Take a while for your weak, you know, turn a drunkard. Flow them city talking, leave them aggravated. Be a mockery, them go on with even motivated. 6, 4 style, get you captivated. No jokes, me do this consecutive. Use mind power, destroy the negative. Constant, me do this, use leverages. Advance next level, different energies. We am a field dog like I'm here on the premises. People them not take it vaccine. Not take it vaccine. People them not take it.
The shipment is expected to land in Jamaica on or before Thursday of this week.
Welcome to the
I wish
Nuremberg
also
trial.
to
Welcome to the
announce the
Nuremberg
provision
trial.
of an additional arrival, some 14,400 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine that will be delivered to the island.
People them not take a vaccine. What a panic and no food them pick and take. Power cutting at the snow make you damn afraid. Our population suffocate can't breathe. Here's a defeat so me nah cut it damn spade. Ready, a young prince running wholesale. The vibration something like force fail. Take a lead dance all watch it stampede. People them not take a vaccine.
How we sounding on the outside? Gotta big up the man called Jack Troy. Yeah, we're in the building. The spaceship is getting a bit more fuel. You know that we're fueled by the sun. The sons of God. Yes. Yes, sir. Nothing that is in the dark shall stay in the dark. We shall shine the light of righteousness right in it. Yes.
Advance next level, different energies. We am a field dog like I'm here on the premises. People them not taking vaccine.
The meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. Love and share. Subscribe.
London, Canada, to America, Pfizer, mother. Pull that up again. Pull it. Yeah, man, Gram Smog, you don't know when I'm listening to the radio and, tuning on to the internet. Got to keep my radio locked. On my internet lock, whether it's on the telephone, whether it's on the iPhone, the berries of strawberries, whatever it is, keep it locked to the body station on the internet. Fresh radio vibes, see? Keep it locked. Yo, everybody run, gun, take the vaccine. I don't know where them are putting in them bloodstream. London, Canada, to America, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Gaza, unruly, Vendetta, IG, Facebook, and Twitter. Buju Bonafire, them a say him a troublemaker. People still sick and not get better. Talk the truth. Clear. So them get sick with Babylon, poison liquor. Everybody run, gun, take the vaccine. I don't know where them a put in them bloodstream. Bout life so normal, a dream, them a dream. World get trick under Babylon scheme. Everybody run, go take the vaccine. I don't know where them a put in them bloodstream. Marlene, Carlene, Arlene, let a mind on no skin bust up like tangerine. Yo, Bruce Golden run, go take him shot. PG retire, but now him come back. Every newscast them a chat, they crap. And when you take it, them a say COVID now stop. What make the mask, them now come and fuck. Social distance, when my friend can't chat. Then curfew still have to go keep 8 o'clock. You know see the government take with the idiot. Yo, everybody run, gun, take the vaccine. I don't know where them a put in them bloodstream. Bout life so normal, a dream, them a dream. World get trick under Babylon scheme. Everybody run, gun, go take vaccine. I don't know where them a get in them bloodstream. Dead body pile up like a sardine. That no come by no TV or in a magazine. Man, them we make the vaccine not take it. Soon can't go a foreign if you not take it. Poor people life, them a try hard to wreck it. Select have sound and can't go select it. Stone love, Jaro, and yes I this it. Jaram no dance all again, what a pity. Uptown, downtown, country and city. The money now make people up in the kitty, yo. Everybody run, gun, take the vaccine. I don't know where them a put in them bloodstream. Bout life so now. Canada, to America, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca.
Yeah, big up to the DJ inside the building. We're taking our time right now. Yes. Love and share, like and care. We're circulating right now.
So them get tricked with Babylon, poison liquor. Everybody
My God. What is happening?
Don't let them set you up.
What is happening? What is happening? My God.
They will set you up.
Seriously. Seriously.
What is man?
Seriously.
Mindful of him.
Seriously.
When every day the world is mingled up in
Seriously.
we not the race of life. Later when I go laugh, don't let them set you up.
No, I'm gonna get some hot chocolate. What are we drinking this morning, people? What are we drinking?
I don't wanna be set up.
What are we drinking this morning? Seriously.
Don't let them set you up.
Set you up, yeah. Every man had the same chance. Every man had the same dance.
Everybody in a romance.
Yes, like the world in a lost trance.
Yes, they got the system
God.
fighting against
My God.
the guns to make us all.
Oh my God. Somebody hush the baby. Hush the baby. Tina, take out the baby. Sophia, take out the baby. Not Jesus Christ. My God. This is very serious. Sultan Ali, Kenny Gladstone. Yes. Michelle Clark is in the building present. Let's look at the let's look at the student list to see who is inside the classroom today. Teachers in the building, let's go.
What is man that Jah is mindful of him? When every day the world is mingled.
Yes, the teachers in the classroom. Let's get everything sorted out. Oh my God, is it that early? Is it that early?
We're not the race of life.
Later them I go laugh. Don't let them set you up. Yeah, Michelle, attachment unavailable. No, this is not right. Facebook is messing with the wrong fellow. This what's going on? Set you up, yeah. Every man had the same chance. Every man had the same chance. When you don't get it one day, we give it to another way. We'll just send it over right there to our Fresh Radio Vibes links. Another beautiful morning. Yes, love and cheer. Yes, love and cheer. Big up to Mark. Wagwan Mark. We're calling him Council General Mark. Don't let them set you. Don't let them set you up, people. Do not let them set you up. My God, can you imagine, DJ? You have so much nice, living, grown people right now. And they're going through an unnecessary oh yes, Councilman Mark is in the building. People are gonna talk
again. People are gonna pass some dirty remarks.
Can you imagine if you had listened to some of these people that were saying
Got some of them
soul it last. Big and serious right now.
Oh God,
don't let them set you up.
No.
Our DJ inside the building is all the way in California.
No.
Sharon, I love you, Sharon, I love you. The smart people, the people who have sense. Not everything is glitter is gold, is it? No, sir.
Oh yes.
So we not jump to every and any sound. Don't let them set you up. Oh my God, we have so much things on the plate. We have so much things to touch on this morning. You know, we're looking at the headlines all over. Our phone lines will be open up in the next 5 minutes. And then we can get into any sort of reason. Before I go any further, a lie doesn't become truth. Wrong doesn't become right. And evil does not become good. Just because it is accepted by a majority of people. In this climate of mistrust, confusion, and fear, we need an honest, faith-based, unbiased, and vigilant fourth estate that will provide the necessary check balance as we navigate the dictatorship of this sort of club membership that is going on with the leaders on planet Earth. All of a sudden, everybody is in one club, and that club is making the decision that is affecting each and every living thing on planet Earth. What gave this corporation that authority to control us as subject? We're going to discuss it this morning. I'm so happy that you joined us. I want to say that over the couple of days, we've been seeing where the reasoning is taking us into some avenues of solution. Now I'm reading right there from the damaging report that is out right now on the jab, for a better word, the jab. Because we are in a biological biotechnological situation right now, where if you believe that the bombs that are dropping in the place called Ukraine is something of concern, you are so distracted. You are so distracted, because people on planet Earth will be affected for this depopulation that has taken place over the last 2 years. As I said, our phone lines will be open in a while. We have sent out invitation to the likes of Mark Renaissance, one of the brothers out there who gets his hands dirty when he comes on to doing things and not just saying things. We have him in our link today. We also reach out to the man himself, Joseph Patterson, because he is creating a storm when it comes on to the representation of our people, and we want that representation to be tangible, where we're not heading into another illusion as far as inclusion in this political fiasco that they call democracy. And of course, Daniel Z. Basra is always at our disposal. Last night, he went on his page and he definitely put out some very vital information when it comes on to how we deal with our status as people. The International Morning Show is being powered by Niamin's Restaurant, and of course we're saying to you, Niamin's Restaurant, it's available in Fort Wayne, Indiana right now, but it is also available in our household, because this is something where I'm trying to push our brand. And if you are a person who love your cooking and everything, feel free to call me and let us discuss how best we can get your location up and running, because once your location is up and running, you can do it under our Nyanka Pong Sovereign Global ID that we have. I think His Excellency Daniel Z. Basra is here to enlighten us with some things before we head to the phone line. Daniel, roll the tape, DJ. Roll the tape.
Perfect, unadulterated black light. Yeah. Greetings, people. Well, this lecture is on special request, you know. Quite a number of people globally have contacted me and asked for even little more clearance as it regards to the birth certificate scam of the Crown and of France, because we must remember that scam, Britain played that scam on all her colonies, France plays it on all its colonies, Dutch plays it on all the Dutch colonies. So to the people who have requested further clarity and even more clarity on the deception of the Full Caps name and how they capitalize on your name, that one is phony, you know. Bear in mind, say, very soon we'll be having classes. We might do it live, or we're considering we might just record them so people can have access to them and leave them. We'll be presenting a systematic class formula for how you can learn the science of liberating yourself and
Wow. Hold on, DJ. We're going to continue that excerpts because as you heard, the Excellency says, and we don't want to go over that sort of demand. He is going to make it available. Someone has just tapped me on my phone, say that His Excellency, is it L.A. Lewis? That is alive and well. He is over there with his podcast. Also, I want to send an extended greetings to the office of the High Chief. Yes, you know what I mean, High Chief Priest Horus L.A. Lewis. We're all over the place, people, but of course the phone lines will be open up in the next 4 minutes. We also want to recognize the British Virgin Islands that is also with Heritage. He just get going. Everybody is up. This is the authentic British Virgin Islands broth that goes on there. I just want to say big up to our people over there on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and let us get that numbers up. Beacle Bailey and all of the people that are, you know, seeing what we're doing. Thank you so much for you and your patronage. Let's get something in before the phone lines open. I think Michelle office is open. We know that Neela Blaze office is open. Let's continue.
Success, the enemy surround me, trying to eat up my soul. Oh yeah. But I know that Jah, he always protect me. Make a soldier to deliver me.
Hey, I'm a DJ, pull that up again. Pull it.
Yeah, we said no weapon that form against our people shall prosper. No weapon that form against the righteous. Because righteousness exalted the nation, right? That's what I'm taught. Are you aware of these? Come on. Phone lines. The number to call is 260-209-8730. We're airborne right now.
Trying to eat up my soul.
Gotta big up the band called Ben from the Ben Jays. We're gonna go to the Caribbean in a bit and big up all the massive.
He is conquering roll.
Conquering roll.
Make a soldier to deliver me.
The Nyankipong, Sovereign Maroon Global Tribal Nations. Have you got your IDs up yet? Have you got your national, your indigenous ID? Call us right now, 260-209-8730. We're gonna get you hooked up right now. No matter how much them send come, none of them now say the righteous beg bread. Let's go.
Cause the faith that I have is strong and it's so healthy. And he will overcome all. I say, don't you see that time is at hand? And my people, we're moving on this. I say, I know. Rascadites in the morning. I know. Rascadites make you feel right. I know Rascadites is in the place, yes. I know it's surely no disgrace. Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, yeah, yes. Oh yeah, yeah. They can't stop us now. Jah people, I know.
Getting it out there right now.
In the morning, I know. Rascadites make you feel right. I know. Rascadites is in the place, yes. I know.
Yeah, we're getting some breaking news. Let's get to our cameras right now. Cameraman, can you switch us over so we can talk to our people? We're getting some news in on our desk, and it's not looking good. It is saying here 44,000. Yes, you heard us. 44,000 people have been accepted in the household of the UK in one day from the Ukraine. My God, hold that. We're getting this. This is not what we want to hear. We want to hear that people are helping people, but it is our understanding that when the refugee situation took place in other places, the UK was not that quick to get it all sorted out. Wow, this is breaking news right now. We got to see what's popping on the outside. Let's see what's popping. It seems as if our DJ is telling us that we may have some form of. Are we ready? Let's go. We know that this is big news. We understand 84,000 in one day. That is a world record. But if the Ukraine situation
and have been prevented from doing so due to the incessant racism that they have experienced. They've not been allowed to go through borders. There have been quite a few who have not been allowed to go through the border into something that has really stood out, has really shone a light on where I'm concerned.
My God, stop sending.
Is that in the midst of all of this, in the midst of people trying to flee from their homes, in the midst of them trying to dodge bullets and bombs and bombardment, they still have time for racism. Because you've got thousands of black, Asian, Syrian, Arab students and workers who have been also trying to get out of Ukraine and have been prevented from doing so due to the incessant racism that they have experienced. They've not been allowed to go through borders. There have been quite a few who have not been allowed to go through the border into Poland, for example, where they've been pushed back. We're looking at some of the footage now that people have been posting up. They've been pushed back. There are posters up saying no blacks. They have been pulled off buses that have been trying to get through the border because they have been not allowed to leave because they've been seen as being less than. And I think that really does shine a light on the fact that it doesn't matter how devastated somebody is, how scared somebody is, they seem to always have time for some of the worst traits of humanity. And there are British students as well. There's a black British student called Corinne Skye who's been tweeting over the past week of her desperate travels, her desperation to try and get out of Ukraine and get back home to here, and has been fought back by Ukrainian troops, have been pushed back by Ukrainian people who do not feel, who believe that the black people need to be at the back of the bus. Essentially, that's what we're talking about here. And I just think that my heart really does go out to the Ukrainian people and those who are in those bordering countries who are doing all they can to try and help them, but will not help anybody whose skin is darker. And I think that's a very clear reflection of what it is that the world is dealing with. And this isn't just in Ukraine. This happens in wars the world over, especially when it comes to migrant workers. The difference, I think, this time is it's a younger demographic who are used to posting on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook, and they're telling their story. And I really hope that people understand when we talk about things like,
yeah, but I know, I hear what you're saying and I completely understand it. And on the news last night, they did show some of the students talking about how badly they had been treated and the effort that it had taken for them to actually get on the plane and cross the border. But I also think that Poland, for example, has exceeded all expectations in accepting 150,000.
Oh my goodness me! I understand that, but if you have thousands of refugees, you can't stand there and say,
absolutely,
oh, you 50 people come in, you 4 people with darker skin. Sorry,
I know, but this isn't a surprise. This isn't a surprise to anyone who has any asylum seeker who's moved across Europe has met this in Hungary and other countries.
To a lot of people, it will come as a surprise. It didn't come as a surprise to me because I am a black woman who's travelled through Europe, and I've dealt with a lot of the ups and downs that can come with. I love travelling, but you always have to make a judgment call about how to deal with certain situations as a result of the colour of my skin in the way that you won't have to, Janet. So I think, yes, it does happen, but this has really shone a light in a way that perhaps, a lot of people watch this programme may well not realise just how difficult it can be.
Well, I think if they watch the documentary about the family that crossed all the way from Syria right across Europe last year, which was like an award-winning documentary, everybody realises that anyway, all the Eastern European borders are places that are fraught with all sorts of tension.
I think it's easy, as we're both journalists, I think it's easy for us to say everybody knows. Everybody doesn't know. And that's the point of having programmes like this, I think, and we talk about the things that we do.
It's Saturday, the 8th of January 2020. My name is Craig Kelly. I'm a member of the Australian Federal Parliament, a representative for the seat of Hughes in southern Sydney. And I would like to take this opportunity to apologise for the appalling conduct of the Victorian State Government and the Australian Federal Government to the tennis player, the world's #1 tennis player, Novak Djokovic. What has happened to him is an embarrassment and disgrace to our nation. It has made our country an international laughingstock. It is purely local politics played out by the Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews and our Prime Minister Scott Morrison. Both of them are responsible for this disgrace and this embarrassment that they have brought upon the nation. It all goes back to a simple concept. These politicians, Labor and Liberal politicians in our country, are not following the science, they are not following the evidence, they are just playing politics. The only excuse that you can have for discriminating between a person is if the so-called unvaccinated person has a much higher risk of having COVID and spreading it to others. But the data that Scott Morrison and the data that Daniel Andrews doesn't read shows the exact opposite. Let's just have...
Hi, I'm the founder of Quidem Groceries. I'm going to speak a bit quickly because at the end of the day I'm restricted in the market. I'm going to get at a certain particular time. I've had disputes, arguments due to trying to close the shop down on time. So I'm going to be fast. But I started 2013 on the other side of the market, Kilburn Square Market, which is on Kilburn Road. I started with nothing. I've learned the game myself. I've been going for 9 years now. I'm at a stage where I...
So look, I'm gonna show you a video that is going to come with a massive trigger warning for child and elder abuse. I believe this is out of Philadelphia. I don't know 100%. I would normally blur the children's faces, But we need to find anyone involved in this and get them some help. Some true help is needed. If you recognize anyone here and you know where it's at, please send me a message.
A couple of years ago, you were one of the people that said when Syrian refugees were pulling up on our borders in boats trying to get into our country that we should close those borders and it's not our problem, we're already overrun, it's nothing to do with us. But you are now saying we should open our borders to Ukrainians fleeing from war and we have a duty to help them. You're racist and you will not change my mind, and here's why. Syrians and the Afghans and the Iraqis and all the other people that have tried to flee here in the last decade or so are brown. People of Ukraine are predominantly white. That's why you care. That's why the media cares. If you were one of those people that have always been against immigration, but now you suddenly say, oh, we should let the Ukrainians in, you are a fucking racist.
Is covered in a grotesque rash. The flesh on his hands and feet is turning black. Necrosis has set in. What caused this terrible infection? Would you believe leftover chicken lo mein?
It happened when a 19-year-old student was visiting a friend at his dorm room in Boston. He went to the refrigerator and helped himself to some leftover Chinese food from the night before. Within minutes, he became seriously ill.
A reenactment of the shocking case has...
This would not be the first time, if it happened, that a vaccine that looked good in initial safety actually made people worse. There was the history of the respiratory syncytial virus vaccine in children, which paradoxically made the children worse. One of the HIV vaccines that we tested several years ago actually made individuals more likely to get infected.
Hey, I'm a DJ, pull that up again, pull it, pull it.
They will set you up. Don't let them set you up. No, they will set you up. Hey, what is man that Jah is mindful of him? When every day the world is mingled up in sin, we see them all opposing and show off. We not the race of life. Later when I go laugh, don't let them set you up. Don't let them set you up. No, I don't wanna be set up. Don't let them set you up. Set you up, yeah. Every man had the same chance. Every man had the same dance. Everybody in a romance, like the world in a lost trance. Yes, they got the system fighting against the things to make us all. Yes, to live as one, but they've got a master plan. Don't let them set you up. Don't make them set you up. No, no. Babylon can't set me up. Don't let them set you up. No, no. People are gonna talk, people are gonna laugh. Again, people are gonna pass some dirty remarks. Oh, my friend, them say no watch the dog way you back. Oh no, got some of them soul it last. Whoa, yeah. Oh God, don't let them set you up. No, no, Babylon can't set we up. No, no, don't let them set we up. No, no. Marcus Garvey still living. We're living out of Babylon. Oh, yes. And they can't stop no time. The progress of this nation. No, born dirty Babylon. East, west, north and south. Don't let them set you up. Don't let them set you up. They will set you up. Don't let them set you up. No, they will set you up. Hey, what is man that Jah is mindful of him? When every day the world is mingled up in sin. We see them all opposing and show off. We not the race of life. Later when I go laugh, don't let them set you up. Don't let them set you up. No, I don't wanna be set up. Don't let them set you up. Set you up, yeah. Every man had the same chance. Every man had the same dance. Everybody in a romance, like the world in a lost trance. Yes, they got the system fighting against the things to make us all. Yes, to live as one, but they've got a master plan. Don't let them set you up. Don't make them set you up. No, no. Babylon can't set me up. Don't let them set you up. No, no. People are gonna talk, people are gonna laugh. Again, people are gonna pass some dirty remarks. Oh, my friend, them say no watch the dog way you back. Oh no, got some of them soul it last. Whoa, yeah. Oh God, don't let them set you up. No, no, Babylon can't set we up. No, no, don't let them set we up. No, no. Marcus Garvey still living. We're living out of Babylon. Oh, yes. And they can't stop no time. The progress of this nation. No, no. So don't let them set you up. Don't let them set you up. No, no. Don't let them set you up. No, no. Don't let them set you up. No, no. Rascada is in the place. Standing up. Yes, for the human race. Rascada is in the house. But we born dirty Babylon. East, west, north and south. Don't let them set you up.
You know you got
Don't
it right.
Let them set you up.
Yeah.
No, no.
Make it bounce like boom, 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 boom.
Girl, please bend over.
She got it, yeah. She got it. She got it, yeah. She got it like whoa. She got it, yeah. She got it. When you walk through, you mash up everything in black traffic. You got it, yeah. You got it. She got it, yeah. You got it like whoa. She got it, yeah.
Uptown, got to Spain town, Oxford, Mark X, bangers and barefoot. Passport, stamp, side drive, gone, airport, truck suit, costume suit.
What a lovely day. Kids are out to school, I got things to do, got to get my pay.
up feeling good, now gonna let no bad vibes get in my way. Got no time to waste with people who can't talk in front of my face. Them a fight to run the place, never cease to give their praise. In a me going in and coming out, I not stop, make the fire blaze. Looking at me face, you can't tell me so we are not going through a phase. Use for them time, figure find time, so me just left them by the ways. Rasta man no run no race. Everything we do is for the likes of Jah. No man could never in the lights of Jah. Rasta man go and go seek the heights of Jah. Wicked man burning from the sight of Jah. Ooh, everything we do is for the likes of Jah. No man could never out the lights of Jah. Rasta man go and go seek the heights of Jah. Wicked man burning from the sight of Jah. It's a place surrounded by Jah blessings. It's a valuable treasure. Life is what to make it, take it serious, yeah, my brother. Love and unity is a thing that can't be measured. Got to be ready for whatever, whenever. Got to be grateful under that crown. Don't be hateful. Reach his home. Now you're being gay. Comfy chant, we keep man down. Everything we do is for the likes of Jah. No man could never in the lights of Jah. Rasta man go and go seek the heights of Jah. Wicked man burning from the sight of Jah. Ooh, everything we do is for the likes of Jah. No man could never out the lights of Jah. Rasta man go and go seek the heights of Jah. Wicked man burning from the sight of Jah. What a lovely day. Kids are out to school, I got things to do, got to get my pay. Wake up feeling good, now gonna let no bad vibes get in my way. Got no time to waste with people who can't talk in front of my face. Them a fight to run the place, never cease to give their praise. In a me going in and coming out, I not stop, make the fire blaze. Looking at me face, you can't tell me so we are not going through a phase. Use for them time, figure find time, so me just left them by the ways. Rasta man no run no race. Everything we do is for the likes of Jah. No man could never in the lights of Jah. Rasta man go and go seek the heights of Jah. Wicked man burning from the sight of Jah. Ooh, everything we do is for the likes of Jah. No man could never out the lights of Jah. Rasta man go and go seek the heights of Jah. Wicked man burning from the sight of Jah. Everything we do is for the likes of Jah. No man could never in the lights of Jah. Rasta man go and go seek the heights of Jah. Wicked man burning from the sight of Jah. Ooh, everything we do is for the likes of Jah. No man could never out the lights of Jah. Rasta man go and go seek the heights of Jah. Wicked man burning from the sight of Jah.
We raise the crime rate. Raise the crime rate. Why? Yeah. Raise the crime rate. Yeah. Mercy 16. The 30 clip in. Mercy 15. Heart beater like Cersei 3. Boy, yeah. AR-15 the carbine. The Glock card the star 9. Make shot now drop in a boy's spine. Up top. People me kill better save it up. If I picky if you walk me not baby hard. Not dead me prefer run jail remand. Marrow fly like when the plane lift off. I'm gonna have me ball out to save me lad. Bullpup rifle and me favorite dog. Evil me name the way me dog. Man bust the kel take my brain chip off. They man not nobody hard to kill. Pussy 40 specially trouble with the breeze. Ooh, I'm send a one girl for him. Me live 14 shot. Touch your dead in your teeth. Your brother tell your cash kid mother they bring your read. The chopper body fine like a bully beef. Rest it 40 fire forward I'm pressing heat. Bust a shot over your girl and that's on left street. Whoa, Mercy 16. The 30 clean game. Mercy 15. The heart beat like Cersei. Boy, AR-15 the carbine. The Glock card the star 9. Big shot lodge in a boy's spine. Up top, people me kill
better save it up. If I be careful, walk me now, baby hard. Not dead, me prefer run trail remand. Marrow fly like when the plane lift off. I'm gonna have me ball out to save me lad. Bull pop rifle and me favorite dog. Evil me name the way me dog. Man bust the girl, take back brain chip off. They man and nobody hard to kill. Bossy 40 specially trouble with the breeze. Ooh, I me send a one girl for him. Me live 14 shot, touch your dagger in your teeth. Your brother tell your cat street, mother they bring your read. The chopper body fine like a bully beef. Rest 40 by your forehead, I'm pressing it. Boss a shot over your girl and that's a left street. Whoa, Rest 16, the 30 clip keep. Rest fit film, me heart it a like CCG. Boy I got that AR-15 the carbine.
Hey, I'm a DJ, pull that up again. Pull it,
shot pull it. Boy spine. Like Cersei tree, boy, AR-15 the carbine.
Yeah, man, I'm smart. You don't know when I'm listening to the radio and, you know, tuning onto the internet. Got to keep my radio locked. On my internet lock, whether it's on the telephone, whether it's on the iPhone, the berries of strawberries, whatever it is, keep it locked to the body station on the internet. Fresh radio vibes, see? Keep it locked.
Man bust the girl, take my brain chip off. They man and nobody hard to kill. Like CCG, boy, I got that AR-15 the carbine. The clock card the star 9. The shot like Bossy 40 specially trouble with the breeze. Ooh, I me send a one girl for him. Me live 14 shot, touch your dagger in your teeth. Your brother tell your cat street, mother they bring your read. The chopper body fine like a bully beef. Rest 40 by your forehead, I'm pressing it. Boss a shot over your girl and that's a left street. Whoa, Rest 16, the 30 clip keep. Rest fit film, me heart it a like CCG. Boy I got that AR-15 the carbine. The Glock card the star 9. The shot like in a boy spine.
But now you can't get it. Let me tell you, once you've been out of the country for X amount of years, you have to be living in the country within 6 months of your application. Now you have been outside now for quite a while, so you won't be able to qualify.
Yeah, but for
unless you come
for,
back inside.
For the 17.
No, that's what the law says. Even though you made the 17, when you make that application, you must be within the territory when you make that application, residing for at least 6 months. That's what the law says. So yes, we recognize you had the 17 before, but you're not now presently here. You must be within the country for at least 6 months.
No, but in the law, I think it said that when you were residing there over 5 years, you...
No. But when you make the application for this thing, no, sorry.
Yeah.
You must be within the territory residing for at least 6 months. That's how it is. You can't be outside and apply.
So there's no circumstances where living inside the British Virgin Islands for 17 years would allow me to have...
Not right now. You have to come back in. You have to come back in.
And with it,
for at least 6 months before you apply.
And to how this government and my relationship set it doesn't look...
I don't... They may authorize it. I tell you.
What is man?
You didn't get through up in the States?
Yeah. That is being worked on right now, you know. But my status in the British Virgin Islands still is something that I treasure, you know.
Okay then.
I just hope the government take care of its responsibility. You know, as you said, I am holding on to this, and it is causing a lot of would I say people taking it on personally, saying that I am disrespecting the territory by airing my grievance like anybody else, you know, but I don't think it's a form of disrespect. It's a form of victimization that I'm speaking out against when it comes on to the government of the British Virgin Islands honoring their contracts. Yes. You know, so...
But you don't think it's a hopeless case?
Well, life itself gives you that challenge that things are hopeless. But you know, I knew Noel Lloyd when I just came to the British Virgin Islands, and he usually come out when Mark Vanterpool didn't have that big supermarket, and he usually walk on the road, you know, and a lot of people was considering him a done useless case. But Noel Lloyd is now a hero, and he's giving people like myself the substance to stand up for justice, not just for myself in the British Virgin Islands, but everyone who call the British Virgin Islands home. It is not a dull cause to fight for something that is
I'm ready
right.
to go. Here's where I come from, but I'm ready to go at any time. I'm trying to make ways to go again.
You ready to go where? I never drop bombs on Ukraine.
I'm ready to go again. But you're running from Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah, people are dropping bombs over in the Ukraine, so you know that's all.
Yeah, I'm trying to make out and see how life goes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't think you need to run from the Caribbean on a whole, you know, because we're restructuring things, but we want to get rid of some of these people in position that are loyal to organization more than the people.
So you keep preaching that,
yeah. We have to do that, Miss Menard. It's him. I know your husband is a man of standard. If him say I come pick you up 2 o'clock with the taxi, I reach that 1:35. You may not like saying punctual, but him punctual. And this is what we find out now, because we don't hold our leaders accountable anymore. Our leaders laugh and joke and lie to us in public.
You think it's too far now? You don't think it's gone too far?
Gone too far with what?
I mean, in terms of we allow them to do what they want for all over these generations.
Yeah.
That's become a norm of way, and now to try to bring them back to accountability, you're going to start a World War I.
Yeah, well, a World War I already started. World War III is already in full.
I know we are in World War III. I know I picked the wrong number.
Yeah, but look here. When our leaders, look for instance with the jab the other day, Miss Menard. The job was something.
Not on the radio. We're not on the radio, right? We're just talking as friends, right?
I am on my program actually, you know, but I'm in my program.
We're not on air, right?
No, you're not on my station, but I'm on my program. I do my program.
Okay, then, yeah. Okay.
So that's what, you know, we're getting at. But I'll call you back when my program finish and we can have a more stable listening, man. How is the granddaughter? My queen.
She's good. Still the queen wants her new hairstyle every week.
I love her. You grow her, man. She's so beautiful. I love her.
She's getting big and she don't want to leave her grandmother's side.
Yeah, man. She's a joy.
Yeah, so, but I wish you well up there with everything you're trying to do. I know life is tough.
Yeah, man. And I hope that things go through. I don't put money over people. I think people are very important, but we have to have good people around us. And me being a sacrifice, it's tough, Miss Menard. It's tough, you know what I mean? Because I never dreamed that. I never dreamed. This is like you having a son and the son kick you out and act like they don't know you. That is how I feel when I talk to and I see it. But we're the reason, man. Still hold the faith.
Okay.
Yeah. Lord God, I tell you. We're getting into our program. That was an abrupt call from the British Virgin Islands, where that we have a lot of people who we care about, and I just want to say big up to all our massive who are sending in their requests and letting us know that we're doing a great job. I'm not doing a great job for myself, but I'm doing it for our people, because our people right now, they have to take themselves out of this predicament. Let's get the phone line up and going now. My God.
I heard the cries of the people. Leaders fail. We the people gonna hold the government accountable. Tell the Queen's Council accountable.
Let me just pick up my hairstylist. We gotta big up all the hairstylists and cosmetologists. Rudolph Pink, how you doing? You're in the classroom right now. Sharon Stevens, she's in the classroom. Curtis Carlwood, big up yourself. King Delinja, Judah Farai, Etta Pemberton, she's inside the classroom right now. Yo, big up yourself, Willie. Wagwan, Willie Coleman. Yes, Roy. Tamika Goodas. Welcome to the classroom. Anthony Matthias. Big up yourself, right? Bala Wala. Wonder why. Yo, DJ Cougar, you're back in the capital. Yo, sexy body Tina Trin. Not to mention good as Sophia Evans. Yes, sir. We never come here to be no human guinea pig. Yeah. So live and make we live. Make we live. Yeah, yes. For the evil you're doing in the name of goodness, we know there are crimes. Yes.
So live and make we live. Make we live.
Yeah, yes.
We the people must hold the government accountable.
I gotta play one more thing before I go to the phone lines. Hold on.
Accountable.
This is serious.
We the people going hold the pharmaceutical companies accountable. Tell the constable.
This would not
accountable. We the people going hold the leaders and scientists accountable. Tell the Queen's Council accountable. If you rush vaccine, price of vaccine, them not care if it hurt you. What that mean accountable? Tell the constable.
Righteousness is not something that.
And if you're doing it in Jesus' name, you are going to charge me one crimes. For all the people you check with politics every day through hard times. Trying to do what you did to our ancestors years ago in our time. Hope you know we know what
it could happen that a vaccine that looked good in initial safety actually made people worse. There was the history of the respiratory syncytial virus vaccine in children, which paradoxically made the children worse. One of the HIV vaccines that we tested several years ago actually made individuals more likely to get infected.
Yes, wow. Let me see what up on the line now. Let me see what up on the line, because you know, this segment is brought to you by Nyamins. Nyamins Fine Jamaican Cuisine. Yeah, fine Jamaican cuisine. You don't want to miss out on our Nyamins restaurant. If you are inside of, you know what I mean, Fort Wayne, give me a call and we'll see what going on. I think Mark did give me a shout early this morning. You look like him inside the restaurant to cook up a thing. If he's busy, as we said, we will always reach forward for him. We know what is bubbling on the line right now. Oh Lord, Kuyano. Yes, I. Big up Jatry from over the Bahamas. He is fully on board right now when it comes on to the movements of Ja People, the International Morning Ride Show, which is blazing. Birdseye said that Miss Peart, MB Peart, is celebrating her birthday today. And you know what I mean, as I said before, oh Lord, here's the line blazing. I think, Mark, are you inside the kitchen rugging up anything as yet, Mark? Honorable?
I'm not in the kitchen now. I do some house, I call it, I try to get some equipment for a show.
Yeah.
In Jamaica.
What is further? You sure Andrew gonna allow you to do any show in the country, Mark? You see, you don't follow orders, you know. You don't follow orders, Mark, and that's what make you a good maroon, because you do not follow. You don't follow orders. What kind of show you dealing with now, Andrew? Dealing with Mark?
No, I'm gonna do a documentary where I'm going to be eating only indigenous foods for Jamaica for a whole month. Means every season, everything that I eat has to be 100% Jamaican. So there's a particular type of knife that I need.
Yes.
So when I go diving, I can in the river I can catch a janga and them thing there, you know. So I'm looking online for the right kind of knife that I need. You're
involved in all sort of things. You're involved in ecotourism, you're involved in exploring, you're involved in what is the plan? Call your councilman for the time being. What is the plan? You are all over the place. People are trying to reach you, as you heard the other day on the International Morning Show. You were put in the hot seat by Mr. Patterson, said that your involvement with the growth of our people is a very crucial one. This morning, spell out what's on your agenda. What is Mark up to?
My agenda is to empower the Jamaican people into understanding that their freedom comes from them.
Yes.
Do not expect others to offer them freedom. You have to be free by being self-reliant.
Yes.
And they need to know the importance of proper health. Determine what kind of foods we can eat, not outside of the pumpkin and callaloo. There's much more indigenous food that we have here that are very beneficial to you.
Mm-hmm.
So my aim is to show them how to prepare these different meals and to identify the different food sources that we have from our elders who I'm going to be meeting with when I go back to Jamaica next month.
You have a plan, and that's why when I was listening to our show earlier on in the week, and I was listening how you gel with the rest of the panel and putting forward some solution where people need. And I think
I'm about solutions, and I'm about facts and solutions.
Yes.
I don't engage in hearsay. I don't engage in false narratives.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that we're truthful. because we are storytellers to the next generation. So if we are not truthful today, in the generation will be living on lies.
Yes.
So it's very, very important that whatever we say is structured in facts. So in addition to all I'm doing, there's a search for the truth. There's a search for who we are as a people, how we have survived, how we've been.
Yeah, Grand Rising.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Grand Rising.
Oh, good afternoon.
What is Mark? Yeah, you were telling us about Michelle. Mute your phone with the daycare that you're running. She's running a 24-hour love and care daycare. Mark, sorry about that.
Nice. We need that. You know.
Love and care daycare.
As our people, you know, expand and move out and and try to empower themselves. We need the kids to be. You see, back in the day, our ancestors, we had a perfect system lined up of daycare, right? This natural daycare, a natural transition from, in terms of our ideas and how to live from our grandparents.
Yep.
So what we would have is that we would have the parents, uncles, aunts living close together, grandparents. When they talk about a village raising a child.
Village raising a child.
You have all these people around, giving them the right values and how to be a good citizen.
A good father,
a good mother.
But that was our safety net. That was our safety net as a people.
Right. But no. It was who we are. It's not even a safety net.
Yeah.
Because it's how we survive. Right now, television and the internet are the ones raising our children. And what's on these things are just diabolical, man. That's why you have these mass killings. There's no humanity. There's no love. And it's so unfair. The media is so unfair. You know, when Iraq, when they were bombing the hell out of Iraq, it was called shock. It was called shock and awe. Now when Russia do the same damn thing, them call the man war criminal and all kind of thing. But guess what?
Everything about them call.
Hold on. Oh my God.
They set the example. So the pot can't call the kettle black.
America try going like all perfect and all them things, and them are the one that always going to people country and the thing.
You know that we can't keep blaming the corporation for their ignorance, because one thing with the corporation, the corporation tell us, but some of us are used to the Scooby-Doo version where we don't go and listen to the Hall of Justice, the League of Justice. Some of us usually watch stupidness, while some of us usually watch good thing will make sense. We know from long time that there's a colonization of the world, because people believe that slavery done is something of the past, but they know that there was a mechanical slavery that took over from the physical slavery.
Yeah, the man, my rumpa know like my dance no Rasta. Working hard for not them can't even use. Transfer.
No, but what I want to ask both of you this morning, seeing that you're here and we're talking about the biotechnical war that's going on. In the headlines right now, it is saying that the UK took in 44,000 Ukrainians in one day. Do you believe that racism is also involved in war also? Because the Haitians, I have tape where the Haitians coming over to the United States and horses and dogs and whips coming to hand. What's your both take on this double standard?
Well, I mean, closer to home, well, not close to home, but I mean, closer to the whole conflict we're having right now. In Yemen, people are starving, and on top of that, they're bombing the hell out of the people in Yemen, and nobody gets access to our media or to Congress, where they block out all the other shows and to hear the voice of the affected, of black people. But this Ukrainian brother now who is fighting a war with his brother.
Yeah.
Them are brethren because Russian fight Russian about. He gets full coverage, gets tax dollars to do all kind of stuff, to military aid, the food aid, everything. And the people in Yemen, who America is paying for those bombs, gets no support. So it's unfair. The treatment of black people is unfair. You know something? What we need to do is to remove ourselves from these people and empower ourselves. If they want to engage with us on our terms, not on their terms. The problem is that in this worldwide system, when America sneezes, Jamaica get a cough. Okay. What we need to do is to isolate and to deal with us as a chart our own narrative, chart our own course, one that is in sync with our country development. Those are the type of things we need to have. We need to have that discussion, but nobody's going to have the discussion because they're still tied to the old system of oppression and colonizing. We're changing the white man now for the Chinese. Okay. Nothing has changed because the people that are there are not acting on our behalf. They're acting on behalf of their oppressor, which is precisely why I am supporting UIC, and we are going to ensure that we're the next government because they are governed by the people, truly elected by the people, for the people. As Mr. Patterson said yesterday, he can't decide who becomes a candidate. The people will have to decide that. All he can do is guide them along the way on certain principles of the UIC. Mm-hmm. But the people will decide who becomes a councillor or MP for that.
But Mark, seeing that you touch it, Michelle, before I ask Mark any question, anything you want to interject on the 44,000 Ukrainian that got into the UK in the space of a day? Anything you want to say about that? I guess she's running. She's muted right there. But you Mark, you mentioned the UIC, and I'm gonna get Mr. Patterson. He doesn't want to get into details as to what the school was really about last week and the initiation of the school. What are your senses with this uprising within the UIC?
I think it's just internal squabbles and procedures. Nothing on the fundamentals of the movement. I mean, we're all aligned on the fundamentals of the move. You have to understand that Mr. Patterson has been going through a very difficult time because he's the leader of the organization. It has affected him financially, mentally, and in ways you could not imagine. Mm-hmm. The little squabble that they had, I imagine, was about the fund, what initiatives to fund. Okay, if they should, how they should use the resources that they have that are coming in, because people are donating to the cause. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it is the belief that that Mr. Patterson's financial issues because of his incarceration and the legal costs. Mm-hmm. If he's the head of the organization, it is not unreasonable to assist him in terms of helping fund his legal expenses.
So hold on. It is my understanding that this brother put up a sacrifice of himself for a cause with a party that was initiated with which he's a president, and there's individuals who believe that this sacrifice that he made for the growth of the party is not involved in the finance of the party too. Are you telling me that we have shallow-minded individuals of that sort in the party?
Well, it's not. Well, something. Sometimes people present themselves in a certain way, and they check all the boxes. But you don't know what's in a man's heart, you know. You don't know how sour a lemon is until you squeeze it.
Oh Jesus!
So when you look on the lemon, it look pretty and everything, but when you squeeze, that's how you know it's sour.
Sometimes not even in a lemon.
Right. But we tend to find out how people are when there's stress and when there's hardship. And you know who your friends are and who your enemies are. There are also people who have other agenda. They come in there. We're trying to build a movement.
Yes.
The powers that be will put their own plans in the movement. They'll say all the right words, say all the right things to get into the movement. And as you know, Mr. Patterson, although he's a chartered accountant, he does not deal with the money that comes in. He hired another person to be the finance, to be the treasurer.
Yes.
He's more than qualified than all of them to be treasurer because he's a finance man.
Yeah, but I don't.
To be transparent.
But serious. Truth be told, right now, if this brother get up out of his bed, wash his body off, put on his clothes, went on a march of liberation to show our people that we don't need to be scared of what's happening, and then now, I don't even want to say it's a Judas move, but it's an ignorant move on our people, and they've always played these games. They've always infiltrate our actions and then have us turn against our brothers. But the individuals who have this different way of thinking, what? Because there's going to be a lot of things, and I think what Mr. Patterson is doing as a beekeeper is also showing that governance at a time where these challenges are minute to the bigger ones that's coming. What is becoming of these rogue, this ignorancy that is putting up their heads right now?
Well, I believe I'm not privy to the to what has gone since then.
Hold on then. Let me get the beekeeper then. I think the beekeeper is the best person to come on this morning on.
What is it saying? What is it saying? The treasurer is saying that he has no access to the account, to the banking account.
Yes,
like
Michelle,
that.
you read the article. Bring us through. Let's hear what you're saying.
Well, I seen the interview that Is It Unstoppable did with him and the treasurer. And this is what the treasurer was saying, that the account is in Patterson and his wife's name, and he has no access as the treasurer to the account.
So they're saying a bit of conflict of interest maybe there then.
Yes, something like that. I don't know,
Mark, and this is it where I believe that Mark is trying. Mark is trying his best to be diplomatic about his answers, but
I'm just telling what I know, because why would he ask for extra money if he has access to it? He could take his money if he wanted to.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Well, let's do it instead of where although he may be on. For the sake of there's certain legal requirement when you have a political party, right? I think to set it up, it had to be in Joseph's name. But however, Joseph cannot take money out unless it's approved by the treasurer.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
So I think the treasurer was saying Joseph wanted like payment, like a kind of like some kind of payment, because him saying no, I guess he's not making any money, or I don't know what it is, but Joseph want like a payment or something like that, and I guess this is where it came in.
Well, from what I heard, Joseph said that he wanted to get some money because of the child he's having, and he said. He also told them if the money is available.
Right. This is what he said on the interview that they did.
So if it's not available, then forget it.
Forget about it.
Right. So that's kind of weird. That's kind of, but I think it was approved, but it never went down. I think there's some other, I think Joseph was very disappointed that he didn't get the backing of the people. When a man work hard for something, right, on behalf of others, first of all, you have to think about this very carefully. Joseph is not doing this for himself. He doesn't need to. If he was out of politics, he'll be fine. He'll be living a stress-free life with no issues. The man, a nice 50-acre property down Elizabeth, with beautiful, clean water running through his property, and farming, doing thing. He didn't need this. And he came back to the country.
Yeah, Neil, please, hold on.
He have to go back to. He could stay in England. In Canada, with his own practice, and do very well, and not be a part of this.
But hold on.
Instead of keeping Jamaica, as most people are moving back.
Hold on, my brother Mark. When we say that the beekeeper, the man himself, Mr. Patterson, could have been doing much more, we agree with you. But Joseph also knew that this wasn't going to be an easy fight. Joseph knew that this place called Jamaica is not only special to him, but special to us. And as we said, he came through with an honest approach to solving this problem. But as we see, the ignorance of our people is a challenge even before governing our people. And I was trying to get him this morning because we are still at a crossroad where we don't just need governance. We need people who have solution to the problems of our people. Our people are facing some very barbaric treatment. As I just said to you a while ago, 44,000 people inside the UK within one day, while we have Jamaicans who are subject under the corporation being kicked out for little and nothing. Our governments are useless to us because they are more into a corporation. So Mr. Joseph Matalanu come now and have these little small challenges coming. I am hoping that this will make him even shine more, and people like yourself now who are out there are not intimidated by the ignorance of our people and step forth and lead properly. That's what we're hoping for.
Well, in my capacity, I can offer guidance. You can only take up, you can take a half the water, but you can't force them to drink.
Exactly.
So, when I came on board, I was a man who deals with the strategy of the party as the vice president. How to move forward, how to implement the procedures, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, I did as much as I could at that point. But I still support the party, and I'm looking right now because of what the issues we have been having, to possibly getting back to have my voice heard a little more strongly. So I think we're having growing pain, and it's just a matter of you have to understand that we had to go through a lot. Just get up.
You're gonna have these little issues come up. It will. Nothing now that just runs so smooth, and you just try to start up a thing. It's not gonna just run smoothly. You're gonna have your little ups and your little downs or what have you. But my thing is, like what I always say, it's that action speaks louder than words. I see everybody's trying. A lot of, you have L.A. Lewis, you have this one, you have that one, where everybody are trying to say bring people into one. But it's like nobody ain't coming together. Everybody are doing their own thing. I try to make them own little thing go. You understand what I'm trying to say? Everybody are trying to come to one accord, but yet still, no one is coming together to make that one accord come in. You understand what I'm trying to say? Ellis Lewis I do one thing, another one I do another thing, another one I do another thing, but yet still not trying to get to the same I'm confused.
No. I think it's not you to be confused, Michelle. The art of war is actually to distract our enemy, and I think what we have been doing in a very good way, and I must commend all of our brothers and sisters, we have been on the battlefield. As far as the generals and the people like Mark and Mr. Patterson who wish to lead this army, they are being challenged by the army because this army is a wakened army. It is not going to have a little pussycat giving. You see what the challenge that Andrew is going through? Andrew is not in driver's control. None of these puppets have ever been in driver control. But
okay, so what I'm trying to say is that, Andrew's here, L.A. Lewis, it's like we're trying to come to the same one accord, but yet still them now come together and work together.
No, but you know,
Why?
the time,
Why?
hold on. The people is not the problem. It's the leadership of the people is the problem. And the leaders of the people have to come from the people. So that's
what
why
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but that's why when Mark and Mr. Patterson is putting themselves to lead these people, they know who they have, but they're still maybe applying the Western so-called civilized platform. Bless up to Imara, and we also have Councilman Daniel Blaze. This morning it's a biotechnological warfare we're talking about. But I'll allow Mark Renaissance Man is on the line. Michelle, of course, is there. So if you're not being addressed, mute your mic. Neela Blaze, you were here first. You want to say something before we pass it on to Imara and get it?
Yeah, blessings, Gadites and the whole panel. Greetings, everyone. No, I will just listen and go forward. Information to me is key, so I will wait till after, no problem. Blessings.
All right. Imara, blessings.
Blessings and light, King.
Thank you so much for coming over today.
And blessings to all of the people in the room. Blessings, family. Blessings.
Yes, blessings.
Yes.
Mark is a line to the UIC, so if you have any question you want to throw at him, he could maybe give some answers. I'm still waiting to get the beekeeper, the man himself, Mr. Joseph Patterson, and Daniel Z. Bosra is still building his cannabis for the day. The question this morning, as we've been saying, is this biotechnological warfare that's going on with even the report in, but moreover, we're also looking at the racism that is being played in the so-called war that is taking place, where refugees from the Ukraine are being given a green carpet, while refugees from as close as Haiti is being whipped and drive away with inhumane approach. These are just some of the things that we're talking about. Anything that is on your agenda that you think we should highlight, I will allow you to do that. But, the platform is open to each and every one.
I'm Maria talking to.
Anyone that wants to start up that any point that I touched on a while ago.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. First you talk about the UIC. That's one topic you're talking about.
Yeah, Mark represent the UIC right there. Yes.
Yeah. So what update? I kind of come in late.
Oh.
What is the present situation with the UIC?
Well, there was. Mark, you want to tell him? Tell him. Yes.
Yeah, the present situation is that we're on court. We had some little internal squabbles that has subsided. We have remained committed to the liberation of the Jamaican people. See? We've not wavered from that. It is really about, like I said, some procedural, internal issues that we've had with people that came on board. As you know, when you build an organization, you welcome people into the organization, but other persons may have other different motives. And the best time to find it out is with the building process. So when we present our case to the Jamaican people for change, then we're coming there with a united front. Mm-hmm. And at this point, we are on our way there. But like I said, nothing has changed. I mean, we plan to change the constitution. We plan to liberate the Jamaican people from the colonial system. A true non-partisan democracy where anybody can lead their parish.
Yeah.
If the constituents have enough faith and value your work. We as leadership have no say so on who you would like to have lead your party. What we can do is vet them, make sure that them are not criminal, and make sure that they share the ideas of the UIC, which is to be completely separate from the colonial system, and to empower Jamaicans through self-reliance and education.
All right, the question may I ask, I have two questions.
Yeah.
What is the ideological principle that surrounds the UIC? Then, we observe that a lot of the discourse and discussion that I heard from the president, right, Mr. Patterson, he always refer to Singapore. See, understanding the history and the background of Singapore, right? If you're going to use Singapore as an example, that is still a colonial capitalist mindset and mentality. The people study the history of Singapore and how Singapore become what it becomes, right? Mm-hmm. That is one thing. The other thing, right, is what kind of networking that the UIC is willing to engage with worldwide, because we realize that the system that we are in now is a global system with a lot of allies. You see what is taking place right down in Russia, where the NATO people and other allies are trying to go in to destabilize Russia. And we have to go with our history, knowing that if we are going to come up with something that is not under the colonial system, we're bound to come up against all sorts of opposing forces. So we have to at least think about our security mechanism in place. If you're going to come with a political party that is going to withstand, then all of these attack that is going to come upon us. See, we have to think logical. That is how we think. You know what I mean? So I am asking what kind of preparation that the UIC and how much you people are looking at these things, knowing that you are not just going to come up and farm anything that is going to crush the present system without a fight.
Well, let me say this here, right? One of the key reasons why Russia can be sanctioned by the US and others is because they are a part of the system. They're dependent on the system. What the UIC wants to do is to get us empowered by self-reliant, relying on ourselves. If a guy wants sanction, it don't really mean nothing. See, we are talking about dealing with green energy. The sun offers any amount of energy you want to run the whole of Jamaica. But the sun is free. But when you have people who are selfish, who only care about enriching their own pocket, they're not going to deal with no green energy because them get money from Petrojam. Them can jack it up and charge Jamaican people, overcharge Jamaican people for gas and oil. You understand? But the first thing that we on our agenda is to liberate ourselves from the dependency that we've been placed under by these colonial powers. Secondly, we cannot fight a battle unless we are educated. Because you're gonna run down the road with your banner of freedom and liberation, nobody behind you. Because the others are not on the same mental place where you are. So it's important for the UIC to educate our people about the benefits of being independent, self-reliant, and to educate them in a manner that serves our country well.
Yeah, but
in other words, we have to educate our people about in a manner that is in sync with country development, Jamaica's development, not for the work for somebody else outside, so even another corporation, but about being self-reliant. In terms of the international front, we obviously Jamaica we can survive by ourselves if we really have to. But there's nothing wrong with trading with people on an equal level. Not as beggars, but as people who have something to offer. And that's the mindset that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Singapore was just a model that Mr. Patterson used in terms of how they went from being just like us and being very successful on the international scene.
Mm-hmm.
However, as you know, I'm not giving medicine today, you know. And the same medicine don't work 10 years from now because things change.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you can't really dwell upon what Singapore deal with in terms of having it fit Jamaica today, because every day, brethren, change. Things change every day. Look on market trend. One time, brethren, hold on. Let's finish a point here.
Yes, sir.
One time, they must have demonized coconut oil and the coconut oil bad for you.
I know.
Right, because they want to sell us the inferior oil.
Mm-hmm.
People know better today. So coconut oil is now a premium. So don't
But further, they never just demonize it. Them come out and kill out the coconut.
Understand? Because you have people in power. Who do not care about our country, brethren.
All right.
They don't care about our country.
Hold on.
So they don't allow anything. They don't allow anything for going to Jamaica. They come in and dig out the mine backside and mash up our well system. These are people that don't care about us, brethren.
The problem that we have is that we have too much import and we don't have enough export. We're not exporting shit.
No, Jesus.
Okay? We're not exporting. We have too much importing, and we have plenty of resource that we can do exporting. So that's the fault with Jamaica as well.
So hold on. That is why the UIC, and I'm going to get Mr. Patterson on the line, the beekeeper, I think Jamaica need a different approach to our number 4 branding on planet Earth, because we have the 4th biggest brand. Can you imagine it? Our brand rate right after Europe, Asia, and these other places, America. So I'm saying that we're joined right now by Kenny Gladstone. He's out of the British Virgin Islands. Kenny, we have the UIC man himself, Mr. Mark Renaissance. That's the new political party that is on the ground, Jamaica, taking on the damaged PNP and JLP enterprise. We have Michelle from Florida, one of our main contributor, Neela Blaze, and internationally known Imara, recording reggae artist. Kenny, I want you to say hello to our panel and introduce yourself. This is Kenny from the British Virgin Islands, PSI Radio.
Greetings to the panel, greetings to the listeners. This is Kenny G himself, PSI TV. Yes, humbly put, and when it is done, we're all in the same game, playing for the same goal. I think it's a beautiful opportunity to be here with you today. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
Blessing.
No, Imara, you're still grilling the UIC candidate. I'll allow you to continue.
Yeah. What I asked, and I still don't answer that question. I talk about political networking, which is very important when it comes to politics, because politics is an international thing.
Yes, sir.
See? And the question that I asked, and him don't really answer it clearly, which I have a problem with even Mr. Patterson, because I've been asking him that question in groups, and that's why I exit those groups, because him just communicating with the people when maybe just go with what him has said. I say him figure with what me has said.
Yes.
But and for the question that I'm putting forward, what ideological principle? Because the world presently is running on a capitalistic, imperialistic, neoliberal system. See? And we know the result of that kind of system. It is that the elite class will always benefit at the advantage or the disadvantage of the working class.
Mm-hmm.
See? Now, if we are going to continue with this kind of system, there will not be any fundamental change in the lives of the people who have been suffering under this kind of system over the years. You understand?
Let me try.
So I am saying, hold on, my brother. I am saying, if you are going to talk about change, you have to talk about change in a way that you are going to impart some form of knowledge that the people can understand that this kind of self-centeredness and this kind of elitist system that is in place, if you, the people, come up and try to practice this, we will not have any better living. So we have to set a standard that the people can even see, not just by verbalizing, but within our action, what kind of structure the UIC is going to put in place and say, this is an example that we want the people to see what we are doing. Whether it's within a farming community, you know, I understand that he's a bee farmer. Why? Is he a bee farmer with a cooperative, or is a bee farmer as the boss?
Well,
capitalist thing. Well, I'm a virgin.
Yeah, but you can't. I'm alright. You have to make a man answer one part. You give man a whole book. You have to make it. Remember, we brain not that.
No. At the same thing, you know. If I listen carefully, at the same thing, may I say. So I am talking about a structure. So the structure, if it is a bee farmer, for example, let me use that example. Is him bee farm in a cooperative, or him as a bee farmer is somebody who him at the boss, him employ some people, and him pay them minimum wage to look after him bees them. You see me I say? But if it's a cooperative now, where people who work with him can say that we are a part owner of this thing. You know what I mean?
Mark,
I'm just talking about.
Well, let me say this there, right?
Yeah.
If I'm hearing you correctly, you are proposing a more socialist, a socialist type of economy. No, there's nothing wrong with collaboration between persons. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, sorry, Daniel just joined us a while ago. Sorry. Continue, Mark.
No, Mr. Patterson having land, he decides to be self-reliant. So he started not only beam deal and implant him on. He plants. I can't hear the noise.
Mute your mic, Michelle. Michelle, mute your studio, your office if you're not on board. Mark is making, because I wanna get you. Daniel just joined us on the presentation first night. I want to get into it, but finish up, Mark, and then we can get over.
Yeah, what I'm saying to you.
Yeah,
Mr. Patterson not only plants coke and everything that he and yam and thing to take care of.
Imara, mute your mic, Imara.
Yes. But he also does bee farming.
Yes.
He also does bee farming. When Mr. Patterson needs help, he has to employ people in a manner that he can make a profit to take care of his business. It would be unreasonable for somebody to put so much resources into something and to have an equal partner when there's no equality there, because what do you come to the table with? Just labor. So if you want to increase labor, then if you want to increase production, you have to get more people, or you form a cooperative where you can go to the next man and say, yo, I have 50 acre land, you have 20, we could do a thing. Okay? Now that's a completely different thing. You cannot force people go into a socialized type of economy if they don't want to. You can allow the freedom for them to do that, but you cannot. But you also have to allow persons who are willing to invest, to make back their money at a profit. There's nothing wrong with that. I've been taught from creation.
Mark, I think what are you talking about? You're talking about a personal thing with Mr. Patterson and someone else, or you're talking about a structure of governance that he wants to bring to our people?
Well, the structure of okay.
Yes.
All we can do is all we can do is educate the Jamaican people.
Yes.
Equal education, equal access, and allow the cream to rise. Not everybody's the same, you know, brethren. Everybody different. Everybody have their own. Some people are brilliant. Some people are not.
Yeah, but hold on. But Mark, we're talking about leadership right now, you know. And we're not on time for guests who are leading. You know. We have people right now who are leading, but because they're not in the quote-unquote jacket and tie thing, some people don't want to recognize them. Bring prime time.
I told you yesterday that my uncle,
yes,
who never left in getting last education at basic school, the man had 365 registered title, and a clothmaker man. And no, he worked hard.
Yes, sir.
And he had access. He was poor. He's a poor man, but he worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
So what to do? I'm saying to you now that, and I'll give a good example, right? When you have equal access, best of Jamaica will shine. Why do you think Jamaica is the fastest runners in the world? You know why? Because everybody in Jamaica get a chance to showcase them talent. Now, in a boys champs, girls champs, you're not gonna put a man in on 100 meter because you like him. You have to earn it.
I think most.
We believe. Yeah. Hold on, brethren. We believe that everybody should have equal access to education,
which is right.
Housing, all of that stuff. Let the cream of Jamaica.
But Mark,
rise.
Mark, and this is what I'm saying with our panel here, who have vast amount of information. The approach that Joseph Patterson is doing is very exciting to the normal man on the road. But for scholars like Daniel Z. Basra and Kenny and myself and yourself, we're looking for more substance. We know that, and Aymara and Michelle, we know that Mr. Patterson is coming from Singapore, who has put in some very draconian measures to curtail its people and grow its economy. Is this the said plan that Mr. Joseph Patterson is going to lend to Jamaica?
No, we're implementing a Jamaican plan. Okay, first of all,
wait there.
We believe. The last point of this matter, right? We believe in collective rising.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You know my clothing line. My clothing line is called Social Roots, which means nobody.
Hold on there. Just a minute.
Kenny, I saw let in Kenny.
Hold on. You cannot use the word collective. You cannot use the word collective, and then at the same time you are saying my. If you are going to use the word collective, you have to use us. So when you are talking to people like us, brethren, you have to be careful of your language. How you use collective, growth, collective economy, yet you are talking I the individual. You see, the kind of individualistic, capitalistic mindset is so embedded in the item psyche. So how do we make change with that kind of mindset?
Brethren, I think you're playing too much on words and although it's important.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, hold on a bridge. Here we are staying now. And I understand words are important. You have to understand something, right? I believe in collective rising. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this is how it works. Humanity, man has not. The only reason man has done well is because we have collaborated. Understand? But you have to understand leadership structure. You have to understand leadership structure.
Mark.
Every man can lead.
All right. Well,
Every man can lead.
Yeah, but Mark, let me say this, right? Because I respect your approach to it. I want to bring in right now someone who not only talk leadership like yourself, but them do leadership like yourself. And I think the way forward is a way different approach that I see Daniel Z. Basra teaching our people. And if our people hold on to these rooted, tangible way forward, we stand a chance. Daniel, Grand Rising, I want you to elaborate on what you hear Mark saying with the UIC, and do you think that approach can work for our people?
All right, let us be honest. Singapore must not be forgotten. Here's critical understanding that must be had. That it must be made to understand that Singapore.
Excuse me. Somebody needs to turn their mic off. It's all staticky.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
My God! Somebody!
Is it you? It's clear now. Excellency, I think you have the floor.
Yeah, we must bear in mind that Singapore is the plan that has worked for Singapore.
Yes.
Do you know that plan? That plan was not Singapore's plan. That was not the developmental plan for Singapore. It was the developmental plan for Jamaica that Singapore took and put in place.
Oh, Jesus.
Why does everybody seem to forget that fact? Singapore took the plan that was in place for Jamaica. Jamaican politicians. Mm-hmm. Jamaican politicians decided that no sir, because this involved too much. I can get to clean something off of the top and take some money there, sir. And we never work with it.
Yes.
Singapore
came to Jamaica to study our country.
Singapore came to Jamaica.
So what is the relationship? What is the relationship with Joseph Patterson, Singapore, and the plan to Jamaica? Anything in there? Let us come out clear, because I know Joseph don't come around here like a num. Joseph has the knowledge.
There's elements of the Singapore plan that he believes is that's Jamaica.
I don't know, Mark, them the FBI people are messing with your line, boy. I can't tell you. The feds, man. That's how the feds are. But continue. You're echoing a bit.
No, I'm saying to you that there are elements of the Singapore plan that may work in Jamaica, but we are coming up with our own Jamaican plan. The Singapore, what he's talking about is how different Singapore has been compared to Jamaica based on the lack of corruption in Singapore. That is why he highlights.
No, Mark. May I say straight say, the plan with Singapore used and the plan when it in place for Jamaica, and Singapore just came and used it.
I understand, but what is that Singapore had a corruption-free environment. And that is what he's highlighting and talking about most of the time.
But Mark, how Singapore reached their status of corruption-free? It was a lot of draconian measures that was put in place to suppress the people. I want you to be aware of it.
No, but listen, here's the problem. It's not draconian.
Yeah.
Not draconian measures. These are disciplines, and we have a problem with discipline.
Yes.
It's disciplines.
It's discipline, yeah.
You understand me?
Jano, when you say discipline, there's for a people that have been
whatever discipline.
Yes.
Is adherent to a predetermined set of rules, structures, moralities, standards. So you can do whatever you want, but since you predeterminedly decide that this is what you're going to do, this is the ability to carry through.
Oh Jesus! Kenny Gladstone, you agree with what Daniel Z. Basra is saying?
Basra, may I ask you a question? Who drafted the Singapore plan?
There was no Singapore plan. There was no plan for Singapore.
All right. Who drafted the plan that Singapore took from Jamaica?
Okay. That was drafted by a collective group of people, including Jamaicans, young, Caribbean, and British and American connected Caribbean descendant people. Just like a Garvey where you put a plan, there were other people who must recognize that some of them may go and some, because these set of people who put that plan together were thinking on the greater level, and they say, yo, come and get together and do this. You understand? And they were, regardless of the fact, some of them might have been sent to school by these white people. Because remember, when the plan was started for Jamaica was a colony now. This wasn't a post-independent plan, you know. Jamaica came into independence, quote unquote, with that plan. Say, yo, at least we can follow. These were Michael Manley, who was at London School of Economics. Some man were dead and gone. Some of them we came from Barbados, some was from Antigua, some was from St. Lucia, some was Lutheran parents born in England, some was Jamaican parents born in Canada. But in the 50s, they saw what was happening, saw the progression. They said, we need the very facts. Everybody come back from World War, and they said, okay, there's a natural progression that's going around in the black world. Ghana was rising up, and every year the black people was rising up. It was apparent that self-determination was coming for us. And as understanding, some of these people just go and say, listen, we have to put this together. They said, we like how we are here doing this. So let us say we come here now and put a plan together, and then 25 years later, some man will say, oh, we put a plan together. Nobody didn't even know, the whole world was not keep check all of these conversations we was having and realizing something great was coming of it. Because the issue, you know, is not who made the plan. Whether or not the plan did make sense, and that's what I remember, because if the devil gives me good advice, I'm going to take it.
Where the mothers, my God, what the mothers, sister, cousin is hearing on the program here?
No, Bozra, it's not whether or not the devil would give you good advice that you're going to take it. I am looking at the result. See? That's what.
No, but the result. No, Jamaica didn't adopt the plan. There's no result for Jamaica. The result is Singapore.
No. There's a result in Singapore now.
In Singapore.
That is bearing fruit. That is bearing fruit.
No, me not.
Wait, no.
Lion. It's not really right or wrong, or what is wrong or what is right with it. You see me I say? I am saying. If we are talking about that plan so much, which I heard what is emphasizing on, see, just raise an important part of the thing. Why Jamaica maybe don't have the capacity and the courage to implement that plan is because of indiscipline. See, now if you have a populace of people who are so indisciplined. The populace was not indisciplined. The populace was. No, watch out. We're not.
Oh, no, the plan can't work. No. The plan cannot work, no. Elements.
That's it. So, Bozra,
elements, no, but listen on. The education system can't work for me. Their education system can't work for me, but I will use elements of their education system, coupled with my own self-awareness and my ancestral acquired education and edification. I will not reject elements of their education system that are fundamental to me raising myself to higher heights, because it's not necessary.
No.
So then,
anything that is going to generate and make you become more a better human being. You would be a fool to that.
But then, all of this. Here's the issue with all of this.
Yeah.
We're still, if we
hold on. After Daniel finish, I want to ask a question, but Daniel, continue.
If we attempt to implement and manifest any of these plans within the present social structural framework, we are doomed. The very social structural framework means you're doomed. The mere fact, so I want to give you all away of birth certificate, which is valid at £1 million British pounds at birth, and it feeds somebody else. You don't even understand. That means that we need to get out of the entire schematics, because it's almost like you're trying to fit your square hole into your square pole into your round peg into a square hole. That's no problem. It's like there's no glory in saying, as them say, who wants to win the rat race? It only means they're the biggest, fittest rat.
Yes. I want to ask.
So the discourse,
I'm alright.
That we are having now. The discussion that we are having now is not to shoot down this or to shoot down that.
No.
See?
Solutions.
Within a collective way. It was within a collective way.
how we can all contribute. Just
free yourself from the slaves of the British crown. There's nothing staying around peripherals. All these other things. Why is it that everybody is avoiding the fact and the reality that you are presently being used and shackled by somebody else? And if you don't want to free yourself and you deserve to be slaves for 20 generations, there's no but. Marcus Garvey, so we need to fuck off with that word. There's no but.
No,
it is what it is. No, until right now, you are operating as, and the entire country of Jamaica is a state controlled by, is a corporation controlled by Britain. Until you wake up. Because, you know, every money that them came Jamaican people owe, if they get up tomorrow and start operating and do business as the independent Republic of Jamaica, it's the Queen have to pay the bill there. And every Jamaican right now, your baby them born in the country and them telling you sitting the baby over from them born. And that's no one try to sit with the square, the round pole in a square peg. Stop it! Balls up, black men and black women.
Cross, angry, says a rebel. You are here with a solution. You are here with a solution, right? And you said the solution. You have it right now that you are expressing. But I'm going to use it because you just tell me, say, boy.
That's the beginning. No, it's not the solution. It is the beginning. Everything is a process. And the primary step in the process.
The process have to go through a lot of things. Not beating down like, oh, you are saying that everybody else.
All right.
How you going to get them to join in? How you going to
listen. No. Wait, no. Getting them to join in is going to take our collective systematic effort. We are saying we need to first acknowledge that all the other things we're talking about. We're saying, no, so make it, all right, so then, after we have acknowledged that, listen, we have to first see ourselves. We have to turn over the table of this game they have been playing us. Because the trap has been in the game. So then, now that we have acknowledged that, we are going to decide, because it is simple enough. It is simple. You know, once we have decided that, we now have to come together with that understanding, say, no, we're going to decide how is it do we get our people to this collective understanding. Now, one of the biggest problems is we need to first recognize that it has never been the crowd and don't wait upon the crowd. Because, so if as a collective writer, so we do what must be done. Everybody find them claim of like, take it back. And for example, when you make news say, I'm Mara, take control of the 1 million pound and they put on the birth certificate. Then everybody else said, I'm going to do that too.
All right. This is where we come to a crossroad because Mark is on the line and he have the US. I'm trying to get Mr. Patterson. He say that he's in a little meeting. But we have Kenny right here. Kenny, you're living outside of the Corporation of Jamaica. Daniel Z. Bosworth just said a while ago the claiming on your birth paper to get the $1 million is a priority and should be a priority for the next way forward.
No, it's not a priority. I'll just use it as an example because I'm not even. Because the reality is that you don't claim the money. I'm just showing that these are possibilities to show you how the system is empty.
Yes.
But the reality is that first step is that it neutralizes your debt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the reality is that you're suppressed by debt. So from your starting from zero, then you have all developmental opportunities.
Kenny,
because the birth certificate and its associated contract of you as a slave and you're trapped. You have to free yourself from that.
Sounds good. Kenny, I was relating to see if I can get your response to what His Excellency Daniel Z. Bosworth was saying.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I'm listening, and there's a plethora of thoughts coming across to me here, which is quite interesting as well. But I think the focus is on the matter of is it the UIC party in Jamaica?
Yeah, the new political party on the ground.
The new political party on the ground. While the Honorable Brother is making some very significant points, and shout out to the Honorable Bosworth, I've been following you for a while, like your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point is this: I am not sure if our people are even prepared to wake up to the reality of the current status. My God. And I'll tell you why I said that. The level of witchcraft that is happening the level of underhanded psychology that is happening currently is beyond the range of practical thinking. And the Jamaican people are perhaps too comfortable where they are and too distracted to even begin to fathom the level of perception that they're up against. Period. Now, if you're talking about the UIC party, and I've been trying to get the honorable gentleman on PSI TV so I could have a talk with him in relation to what his thinking is, what his vision is, where is he going, what plans he has for the nation, how is he going to navigate the bullshit that is happening worldwide to control the people them? How is he going to avoid the oligarchy that is currently on one drive via the New World Order to put everybody and everything under them, and who don't agree with them get killed? How is he going to deal with that? These are some of the questions I want to ask him, but I'm not getting them.
Well, I could probably answer that on his behalf if you'd like.
Yeah, comment, Mark. Let me hear what. I know that Mr. Patterson say he had to feed the bees about 2 o'clock, so he's not feeding the bees them yet. But Mark, take it up. I'm still trying to get him, the beekeeper.
Now, you talk about the level of deception and people not grasping the level of deception around the world. People are not familiar with Ukraine, they're not familiar with Yemen, and they're following the narrative that TV. I get that. We are all like that, and I've always complained about being out there with a banner of freedom and liberation, and nobody behind you, because they cannot grasp what you're trying to do. Now, you have to understand that once you have the backing of the people behind you, nobody can sway, support, or deceive us to not say that's going to benefit them and their own agenda. So it's important that the UIP uses the tool of education, that persons can understand what is required of them, the vision of where we need to go as a country. I just mentioned self-reliance earlier, how important is self-reliance, because once you're self-reliant, you don't have to do the bidding of your debt or the person that you borrow money from, because when you borrow from somebody, they pretty much call it what they want. They tell you what to do. So and also there's a level of materialism that permeates our society where we're bought into this advertised life that is not reality. It's not realistic for our country. It's not sustainable, and it separates our people into this mentality of this old slave mentality, colonial mentality.
Can I ask you something, brother? Because I see where you're going. Can I ask you something? Because I see you represent the UIC.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, man.
All right. Now, I have been following the latest developments in Jamaica in relation to the Bank of Jamaica, and in simple terms, the new cashless society that is being ushered in, which is similar to the system that is established in China. You call it the social credit scores. My question to you is, what part is the UIC playing to do 2 things? 1, help Jamaicans to understand the significant repercussions of that system. And 2, how is the UIC going to work around that? If any at all, it is a good thing or a bad thing, that's another matter. But how is the UIC going to handle this system, which, from the implications of it, Jamaicans are not prepared to deal with it?
Jamaicans are not prepared. Mark.
Well, there's a couple of things, right? And you have to read the tea leaves, all right? There's a thing, I think called NIDS that they're trying to Jamaica. NIDS is not a Jamaican agenda. It's a U.S. agenda. It's a way for them to keep track of how we make our money here in Jamaica. And pretty much, it's really a time tool in my opinion. It's not. It's when Holness came from promoting his party, he mentioned fixed election date. It has not been realized. We never heard about NIDS. NIDS is an American agenda. That ties in with the cashless thing that you're talking about. I don't think Jamaica and have been talking about a lot. Maybe you need to get in your program and other programs to really let the Jamaicans the ramifications of what is going to do. But we are totally against it. Yes.
Answer the very question that I asked him. US thing, not a Jamaican thing. That's what he said. And if that is what is happening, and all countries have to comply with that system that is not even about their own social economic plan, then you are telling me you are actually confirming a very serious fact, which I think our people are very unaware of. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the fact that Jamaicans are very distracted to these facts makes it a very serious matter moving forward. Now, the point is, if the UIC is to function independent of all this crap that is happening worldwide as we speak, which is not a possibility, and if the UIC is to bring to the fore a different format to create the difference within Jamaica as is intended, but will not be possible because it is not a part of the agenda, it does create, in my mind, this very clear scenario that while the politics of governments continues to play out among people and politicians can tell people whatever the hell they want to tell them, we need to get to a place of realism or reality. The time has come because people are now seeing it for themselves that all the bulls that have been told to them by politicians over the years, none of that is worth that.
Hogwash. Pure hogwash.
So I am saying here on this platform, as I'm being invited, my beloved brother, and it is with all respect to you and everyone here.
Yeah.
If the UIC is going to tell me that they are not prepared to comply with the new mandate as is established and they are pushing to achieve it by 2030, and even Russia itself right now is under serious fire because they are not opening the country to a central bank.
Ask Gaddafi about that as well.
Right? If this is the case,
hold on, I think,
and Jamaica is as insignificant as it is right now in relation to what is happening across the world, how can my beloved brother who is planning to head the UIC navigate all of this to give the plans that he is proposing to the Jamaican people when he himself must comply with all the leaders to fulfill the agenda?
But hold on, I think, Mark, who would say?
All I can say is that Jamaicans have always been revolutionary.
Oh Jesus!
Okay?
Oh
and
Jesus!
It is a very. You're asking a very serious question.
God.
Of course, it is a serious question.
No, but Daniel Z Bazra has been telling us that sometimes the tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants. We are at a stage right now where inclusion is looking good. But inclusion, as them say, happy and don't own nothing. Me know Daniel not second for that. Me know Michelle not second for that. None of we not second for that.
Okay. Let me something here, right? I'm called Margaret Cameron for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is just one example. I'm just very, very small example, right? I'm a welder. I'm an artist. I'm a poet. I built the only cut-stone apartment complex in Jamaica, townhouses in Jamaica. You can Google it. Jamaica, we call it Luke and Gleaner, cut-stone experiment, Mark from Media Stanford, the townhouses. I'm the only Jamaican to have gone before Parliament to speak about bauxite issues in Jamaica. And with all the heads of government, bauxite companies, there you can go Al Jazeera and look on it as well. Look on bauxite problems. Mark Cameron used to be there talking about the bauxite issues. I'm also an international chef. I built 6 restaurants. I have my own jerk sauce. There's nothing that I cannot do. I'm saying all of this to say this. I'm saying all of this to say this. That we, and I said it early on, I said we have to be independent of our oppressors. Okay? I've always advocated for the
Daniel, what is the blueprint? What is the blueprint for the independence of our yes?
The Caribbean people, don't need any other country outside the Caribbean to survive. Do you understand that? I'm for Caribbean
economically, we don't need that connection.
We cannot follow the leaders down into this drop of a waterfall.
There you go now. My brother, can I button here? Now you're right on the button, brother. This is the kind of talk I need to hear from all of you. Because watch this. If this is where you are and we are as a people, then listen, as Chief Cadet said a while ago, then people said, it's anarchy in Jamaica. It's blood. Because
yes.
If the people gonna wake up for this fact, brother, then that's how serious we're gonna get.
No, but this is what I wanna ask right now, because this is it. Jamaica is being presented with a third political leg to stand on, but the people are not looking in the essence of politics to solve their problems. Because politicians have failed them over the last 60 years. And that's why when Daniel Z. Basra said, unless Mr. Joseph Patterson go around Jamaica with a constitution that makes sense to the people, them, it don't make sense on next party farm.
But that's what he's doing.
He's doing that, Daniel. He's doing that. Does the UIC have a constitution offering to the people them that is totally different from what the Queen cook up with the lords them?
Absolutely. It's a constitution designed by Jamaicans for Jamaicans.
Well, last time we talked to Mr. Patterson, him tell us it cost too much money to do that. He want to get in at it. He said that he wanted to get into the house first. And then him do the change up at the house. He never planned, and I like Donald Trump.
Hold on. No.
Hold on, Daniel.
I'm Mara here. I'm Mara. I remember the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party.
Where is the far from the phone?
Me there, man. You hear me?
Yeah, up there.
All right. And it was the same thing that the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party was agitated for, right? That
Hello.
They want to
everybody have around the issue now, yo. Nobody can institute the laws, international. Yeah, no, sir. No, me not have time for it. Remember that song I said, you cannot. Look at the budget. All right, look on. Because you hear me I say. Yo, you hear me I say. Me not depend on the
I'm Mara.
Jano. Yo, you're wasting the time. Here's the first thing. Look now. Listen to me.
Yes.
If you didn't run for it, there's a requisite level of study that is demanding if you come to liberate the people. So here's a fact.
Yes.
See that, Joseph? Nobody can put the international law there. To implement the constitution has to be stopped.
Calm down. Minister, I want to hear you. I want to hear you, Daniel. Please just say it properly. I want to hear what you're saying.
Implement the constitution, you must be sovereign. Constitution if you do something together. Joseph Patterson not sovereign.
All right. So you said that. Because you're
international law. Who will have said that? The first thing I'm going to say, but you're a subject of the crown. When you present that, when Joseph Patterson present that constitution to any international body, they are operating on law. Them say what you is to us.
Can I say something?
what I'm saying.
The Jamaican Constitution was presented by a sovereign to govern the corporation called the state of Jamaica.
Oh, I hear you, Imara. I hear you. I hear you. Yes, sir. Yes,
Get
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
I want you listening now. This is not a shouting game for me, see?
Yes, sir.
I'm not into the shouting game. I'm not trying to talk over, man, right? Interject, right?
Yes.
He didn't say anything until I am told to make a point. Right?
Yes.
You are the coordinator, right?
Yes. Yes.
Let Bosra understand that if I am going to make the point, allow me to make my point and before him interject.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With respect here, sir.
Yeah, man.
This
Yeah,
is
man.
not a shouting game, and we're not supposed to do
The passion, the passion. As I said, the passion sometimes that we.
All right, good.
say.
All right.
Listen, but
That's it. Yeah. A man who master himself learn how to master him emotion as well. That's the principle.
Up again,
Okay.
up again. Yes, sir.
All right. So this is what I'm saying. See, I am saying if Patterson and anybody else will come and trying to win election by default, because that's their about, they feel like the people them tired of the two political parties. So they might put up themselves, hoping that the people make a change. By default, they want to enter parliament and carry out them same nefarious act. You see me I say?
Yeah.
So, pertaining to a sovereign man or a sovereign group of people who can form a constitution. Still, I was listening to Buzzer first night.
Yeah, I was.
And his live,
Yes,
right?
Yes, sir.
And he stated in that live that he is the only sovereign person in a compound. See? Because the rest of the compound people are a part of the state structure. You see, that was right saying that I am the only person in Jamaica who can formulate a constitution because everybody else dons and everybody else don't have a knowledge to put forth a constitution.
I don't think that's
whether
what.
they are bound by the court. Because if you in a country and
Yes.
here is the only, are you in a what you call a community, and you are the only sovereign individual, your work is cut out for you because you have to go and try as hard as you can, whether you fail or win, how to get the rest of people to understand themselves. You have to have a kind of dialogical discourse with those people. See?
No,
to
but
let them know it, and however long it might take.
yeah.
But you shouting on top of your voice.
Yeah, but don't.
Cussing them out.
Yeah.
And cussing them out
Yes.
and say that they are slaves and they are.
Yes.
It is an insult.
Yeah, but
That is one.
but as I said to you, as I said to you and several of our guests around here, these are lion times, and I do not.
but-
Hold on. I gave you time to talk, Amara. You know you're my virgin, but I'm saying that some of our people, they want a baby thing, and no, this is not the time for baby. I think what Daniel is saying to us is that we are all subject to the corporation because we are proudly walking around every day with the documents of the corporation. And we have to be bold with our people and let them know that this is why Joseph Patterson cannot win an election with change, because the document stated as what Joseph is running under is owned by the corporation. It is not an insult to tell you that your father, we are claiming, is not your real father. He's a jacket for that man.
But guess what?
I am not a proud person in the situation that I am in.
Yes, sir.
Are you a proud person?
No, we're not.
Can I?
Okay. So once you are not a proud person, right? You are coming to the full understanding that you need to change the situation.
Yes.
Right? And every change, you are a big man where you're right so. See? You take time, see, to elevate yourself to that consciousness.
I agree.
See? Now, all of these knowledge that is spewing around pertaining to when the corporation and what is the corporation. I am certain that these are newfound knowledge that some of our brothers pick up, research, and find out. See?
Thank God.
Now,
Thank God they find
all
it.
right, and we glad for it.
Cause we've been living in a fairy tale. We've been living in a fairy tale for the last couple of years. But hold on, Mara, what you want to say, Mark? What you want to say?
Yeah. So it means that we are at a point that the illumination is taking place. We are seeing clearer and clearer because we are seekers. We are finding out what is wrong, and we have the courage within us to fix what is wrong. And that is one of the reasons why we are having this discussion right now.
Yes, solution.
Okay, let me ask you.
Right?
Mark, give Mark a chance. Give Mark a chance to address.
I'm going to use a very simple thing to break down what I want to say. Amara. Hello?
Amara is here. Is here.
Amara. What kind of car you drive?
Suppose me tell him in a one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What kind of car you drive with that?
Huh?
No, me ask you what kind of car you drive.
Okay. So I don't want a car.
You want a truck? You want a truck? You want a Toyota? One of Toyota camera? One of them sitting there. Yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay, but me tell him I don't want a car.
Hold on, man. Okay.
You want a truck? You don't want a car. You want a truck.
If you don't want a vehicle, period. Guys, would you stop it?
Alright, Jesus Christ. May I tell us Imara own a truck? You stay there here. Imara was soldier and I didn't know. Anyway, Mark, make your point.
No. I want a Jeep.
Yes,
okay?
Yes.
Okay.
We are focusing too much on the model of the car.
Oh, Jesus.
We understand that if you can drive or you can be transported, doesn't matter how you get there. You're focusing too much on this corporation bullshit. Okay, and tell you why.
You cannot tell us that, Mark, because the corporation has an agenda. And that's what Mr. Kenny said to you a while ago. Mr. Kenny said to you. Yeah, continue.
I have a bigger point to make than that.
Okay.
Me have to run now. Me cut up the idea.
All right, blessings.
When you get into the power, all right?
Yes.
You have the backing of the people that put you in power to implement whatever change that you want. Do not dwell on these corporate things that you're talking about when it doesn't really matter when you're in power.
No, it matters. It matters because the laws that you're going under is what will rule you.
Which law?
Oh, you mean that first and foremost, whenever a politician going him straight to serve the queen and the heir to her throne, do you take that as just a gesture? It's not a gesture.
That's not UIC. Until UIC, they are free from the queen, and we will implement our own laws. You understand that?
My brother, I've been listening. Hold on, I've been listening very carefully.
You have to change your status. If you get elected president of the UIC, you are still subject to the crown. You have to change your status before, in order to effect a law. Laws.
I agree.
But sovereign. These are international law principles. You must understand them. If you're thinking to lead and thinking as kings, you must understand the tenets of international law. It will set the template for your people's liberation, or else you're pretending.
You're right back to square one where I started. You're right back where I started. Very important point. You're right back where I started.
The international community will not accept a constitution for anyone who is not sovereign. Because if you're not sovereign, you cannot create a constitution.
Yes.
So before you create a constitution, you have to first free yourself and stand in your sovereignty. At present, almost everybody on this conversation is in contract with
Yes.
This with the Commonwealth. If
Yes.
you're in America, you're in contract with the Commonwealth or whatever state you're in.
Yes.
If you're in Jamaica, you're in contract with the Commonwealth. That makes you a citizen. It means that the lowest level, a citizen is the lowest level in the hierarchy of laws.
Wow.
A citizen is a slave to the corporation which it pledges. You pledge to the state of Jamaica. The state of Jamaica is a corporation. If your brain are ready for goddess and take it on this, then you're not ready to take the thing to the levels.
I agree. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Mark.
Totally agree.
Mark.
100% agree.
Mark.
The people's liberation is not a half-step thing.
Oh, Jesus.
That is why Fidel Castro took over his country. When Fidel was the last student, Fidel understood all of this game because the same way the British play it on its colonies is the same legal game that the Spanish plays on their colonies.
Yes,
So Fidel
sir.
understood that. That's why he free himself, liberate himself, and then as a sovereign, put in a constitution for Cuba.
Yes,
That's the world to accept it. Nothing that the UIC come with will have any international standing if the members of the UIC are holding Jamaican birth certificates, Jamaican driver's license, and text of the
Like I said before, Danny, we don't need international recognition from that standpoint. Okay, nobody.
So how
can
you
tell
going to
who you are.
business? So how you going to
So how?
business?
I was just about to ask him how
you
does
gonna
he plan to
conduct
do?
a political-
How does the UIC plan to do business?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the question I want to ask.
First of all, I said earlier in the conversation
Yes.
that Jamaica needs to look into to saving itself by Jamaica. You can't look outside to save you. Jamaicans have to save Jamaica.
No, but how will Jamaica save itself, my brother, if it is not in compliance with international laws at this point? That's my question to you.
Yeah, but hold on, man. International laws are there when you're doing business with international people.
But you have to do business.
This is in a very simple way.
Mark, is the international community in its observation of the occurrences in Jamaica, see that you are not in accordance with international standards. Then them can't come in and overturn it.
Hold on. Daniel, if you not buy none from them, that make any sense to you? We not buy none from you. Who is a rat that when I'm having in my house? We not buy none from you. Why do I need your support? I'm telling you, I'm looking at a bigger picture here, Bridget. I'm saying to that Jamaica is to collaborate with the Caribbean community and get rid of those fools on the other side.
What Caribbean community? When all the other Caribbean islands are subjects of the crown.
That's the point. That is the point right there. That's the point. Absolutely.
That is our challenge. But in the meantime, we have to take small steps. We cannot. We cannot make changes in Jamaica.
Mark.
From the out, unless you're willing to start a revolution.
No, but Mark.
No. Position.
But listen me. The revolution. Daniel Bazra.
Mark.
Yeah.
What do you think happens with the entire? If you get, if you have 10,000 Jamaicans who are no longer operating as citizens of the corporation called the state of Jamaica, but have using by international law legal process and lawful practices declare and show themselves to be sovereign, and then those 10,000 Jamaicans are promoted in and as sovereigns. Can you lead by example? So part of the campaign to the people supposed to be seated here. You're supposed to explain the scam of the state of Jamaica in your campaign messages. I say, I am a liberated man. I am a sovereign. And as a sovereign, I will guarantee that when you elect us, we will give you the status. We will put that. What is wrong with doing that? Let's go to the head of the beast and chop it off.
Yes, sir. The government has all the resources of the armed forces and everything beside them, right? You have to use their system.
I want to
liberate yourself.
No, Mark, and I want to stop you right there because I think Daniel D. Bazra can't make it any more clearer to our people. Unless you are undocumented from under the corporation, you are fighting a losing battle.
who's in battle.
We will be fighting this until thy kingdom come.
Listen me, Mark, and tell
There's
this.
only one way to win. There is only one way to win in this game. It's to make yourself a sovereign.
Yes.
True, because they will not know that. That's where the automatic respect come.
That's why
automatic respect. Oh, he knows what he's supposed to know, so we will treat him accordingly.
Well, guess what? We will be arguing about it. I mean, you know a lot about the international laws and these kind of things.
But if you want to lead, Mark, that's your homework, Mark. And that's what I tell you. So some of the people who want to lead this revolution, you know. Mark, you can't take up trouble, you know, because you see these people, they are fully awakened. You think the Basra can go on social media and run the Prime Minister of the corporation and let him know he's a laga idiot, and him can't do crap about it because people are fully awakened. We said to Mr. Patterson, time you there, so I go on social media and tell us if we come vote for UIC. Show us a constitution from the UIC that have a different agenda for our people. We don't see that from the UIC, and what the UIC is banking on, as what Imara say, is that them have one default election. And true, we're frustrated now. We run go put in UIC with the said constitution where Queen cook up and give them for run for 60 years ago and end up back in a quagmire. We not do that again. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Ovarian form. You have to firm like a pump. Because it says in the law, it says constitutions are created by sovereigns. That is, listen, constitutions are created by sovereigns to govern corporations they create. No, listen now. Listen to scam. Britain has given all these countries constitution, and Britain does not have a constitution. Sovereigns to govern corporations. We call the state of Jamaica, and created a constitution to govern that corporation. While Britain does not operate as a corporation, it does not have a constitution. You don't understand? So them laugh. No, I saw them laugh off when they talk.
Yes,
they're like, they're saying.
Yes, I.
The moment the UIC attempts to present a copy, because that constitution, the new Jamaican constitution, has to be presented to the United Nations and all international bodies. That is the purvey of kings. Bilateral agreements. Sovereignty is based on one of the tenets of sovereignty is bilateral agreements with other sovereign bodies. The moment you try to present that UIC, with the election, Jamaican people vote unanimously, 70% vote for UIC. The UIC is going to present a constitution and say, we're coming with our own constitution. But the international community is going to say to you, but you are not a sovereign, you can't present a constitution.
Yes.
We're not present on that. Once you get elected, the people decide the direction that we like to go, and that is it.
Yeah, but people are not sovereign.
Yeah,
because the people are subject of the crown, and until they remove themselves from that status, there's no going forward.
Yes, I. Until you're documented.
I disagree.
Everybody listen up. You must understand. Mark, you have a driver's license. Joseph have Jamaican birth certificate, passport, driver's license. Yeah. It means then, when you attend it, they're going to say, but listen, here you have a contract with the crown.
Nothing more than a subject.
This is your signature. And we're operating on contract law, and contract stands unless you renege and revoke that contract via the requisite processes that are recognized to revoke that contract. So even when people can't do that because the people all have birth certificates and have stick time, all these models, and they have gotten throughout the process from driver's license, passport, birth certificate, all these applications, you have signed the contracts. And until you revoke those contracts with the requisite documents, you are always going to be subjects.
Nothing more than a common subject. That's what we are. That's all.
This General Brethren here was about to make a point, and he was interrupted. Can I hear what he had to say?
All right, continue.
No, the gentleman there was about to make a
Kenny.
comment.
Kenny, was it Kenny?
Yeah, I've been here listening, and quite fascinating.
I tell you, see you, boy, Kenny. I tell you.
I tell you, my brother, you know, it's a little interesting, but pretty deeply troubling, and at the same time, very, very serious matter. If we're talking about another election, and we are not cognizant of the facts surrounding the logistics of such a move, it could put us in a far deeper pile of poop than we are in right now. And I think it needs to be addressed in a way that makes sense. And with all due respect to my brother, as he stands to defend and declare the move of the UIC, and I respect the move actually, because I think the people needs something different.
A breath of fresh air.
But what I would like to see happening at the level of the UIC is to have more dialogue with enlightened mind like a Basra, more enlightened minds like all such peoples who are familiar with such laws, to ensure that the proper steps are taken to facilitate due processes which will ensure the success of the move to achieve the goal that the party has proposed. It is that simple. And I don't think the Honorable Brother Patterson, with all the good intentions he has, is going to make a significant difference if this step is not taken. It's that simple. I've been watching it very closely. I've been watching it very, very carefully, and I'm waiting to hear something that is going to make sense at the level that we're having this discussion. So far, I have not been seeing or hearing it. And that is my concern. We have millions of Jamaicans abroad, for example, who are waiting and looking to see something happen in the country that is going to create a difference, that they can tomorrow morning catch the plane and travel, and they need to do that without even thinking.
No, but
a lot of them will, and a lot of them will never return because nothing is in place to facilitate decency on the land.
Oh Jesus!
Well, there's a couple things that you need to understand about the UIC. Okay, first of all, Mr. Patterson is a chartered accountant. One of the first things we discussed when putting this part together was we identified the problems we had. The problem we had was corruption. If a thief goes into the UIC, he cannot prosper because there's too many checks and balances to prevent to allow corruption. That's number one. Number two, the constitution that we're putting in place, because it's the will of the people. It is structured in a manner where Jamaicans are going to decide their future. We're not in dialogue with anybody else about how we're going to chart our course. The laws are created by the government. So if
we get that, my brother. I hope you don't mind me interjecting. But, I get it, really. We really get it. And trust me, we know where you are. We totally understand the position. But the point now is, if we are speaking from a standpoint of sovereignty, and if we're speaking from the standpoint of restoring our sovereignty in a way as is prescribed by law, certain functional steps must be taken to achieve this goal. And while I agree with you and I support you, and that must be said, I don't want to feel like we're attacking you and beating you down. No. But I think Basra made some very serious points, like I have maintained over many years, like Gadites himself has maintained, and many other such thinkers. This is the position we have to take, and if this is not done, it is only setting us up for more problems later. And I'm hoping, my brother, that between yourself and Brother Patterson and whoever else who are surrounded by this party, or who are within this party, we'll look at what is discussed here today in a very serious way. 1, 2, pull to, regardless of who the guy is, the man could be a crackhead on the street and he had common sense. Pull in and get the information to make it work. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, but you know,
If this is not what we're doing right now, brother, it ain't going to make any sense.
We got 5 more minutes, people. 5 more to find the solution. I'm sorry. 5 more minutes to find the solution.
What we need to think about as well is there's a word called practical and ideal.
Oh Lord, Kenny, why is Mark using your own words on you, Kenny? Why?
Hold on. We can have, and I'm an idealist. The way I'm an idealist.
Yes.
And I because ideal means the ideal way to do things. Practical sounds almost like a compromise. Okay.
Yeah, Mark.
Practical sounds like a compromise to me. I'm an idealist. Okay, but let's be practical here. In the practical sense of us being elected, and to get the backing of the Jamaican people who I don't think we need several lifetimes to change their minds into the level that we're at right now, to be sovereign and all that kind of stuff, to be voted in. Once we're voted in,
dear my friend,
we're getting rid of the Queen. We are drafting a new constitution that is in sync with Jamaica's development. Just let the chip fall where they may. I'm not saying on this on all these sovereign things that you talk, because when we're done, every Jamaican will be sovereign.
Mark, you cannot put the cat in front of the horse. Mark, hold up all the time, because we have given you that, and we're going to give you another chance again. But I think Neela Blaze wanted to say something. Daniel is here with the closer, and Kenny is also, plus not to mention Michelle. So let us do it in order. Neela Blaze, what you want to say before?
Yeah, honorable again, real talk, and because of the time running out, I'm patient. You know, my brother, you would remind me of Saul before him gets struck. Your passion, we need something like that. Organization, right? That's the passion we need. You just need to stay like John disciple them who never say the truth. Don't get tell you have to say we people. No, you identify as a Jamaican. And sovereign. You're not coming from there, my friend. Up in our wall. You understand me? That's where I need you from, right there. Give thanks again for the time. Go ahead.
Yes, I.
I know why I'm broke down still in some. I'm not reading no keyboard wall, no virgin.
Yeah.
Wall.
Well, yeah.
Right now, if you are grounded in truth,
yes,
you can't stop your brethren. I don't care what the name you call it. But if you go up on a course, and you dip on a course, nothing can stop it, brethren.
All right, Mark, we're not here. We're not here to convert you. Let Michelle say our final words, and then Kenny, and then Basra can lead us out. Michelle, what you want to say to the UIC gentleman here? Is he on the right track, or do you have some concerns? Talk to me.
I understand what Mark has said, but all I have to say is all the way, a lot of us is indoctrinated, so we can't see further than that.
Okay.
It's like we born in it, we grew in it, and people is not seeing their way out of it. You understand? So how I'm seeing is that Mark has said, him have $15, you know. Him already established.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So he's okay. He's okay with the system.
He's okay. He's okay.
Be okay with the system.
Yo, Jesus Christ.
He's not saying...
Hold on. The system never make me, Michelle.
No, I understand what you're saying, Mark. But I'm just saying, you're comfortable with all that is
it's operating.
All right.
No, I'm not. That's why I'm going to Jamaica.
You're okay with your birth certificate. You don't see nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yes.
No, what I'm... Listen, man, the birth certificate never get me to learn for well. Learn to do chef work, and that not teach me nothing.
All right.
You know, dwell upon them things, Rasta, and put too much emphasis on things that don't even matter.
You know, me I try save Mark because you know why I'm saving Daniel Z Basra for last, because I know Daniel is going to try to put it across again if he have the time. Kenny, what do you think about the UIC candidate here, and do you think that he has some homework to do alongside with Mr. Patterson before they can get into the seat of power to lead our people?
I'm 100% in support of a revolutionary move for the transformation of Jamaica, as is called in its corporate sense. Jamaica, our original land, and whatever else we could call it as indigenous peoples. Yes,
Nayang Kapong.
Nayang Kapong. It is. We need to see the original transformation of the lands, our people, which will have to do with a whole what you call it? I don't like using the word education, because that system is bull. It hasn't worked.
Mm-hmm.
So we really need to create knowledge in relation to moving forward. And I think King Basra is on the right path in relation to what we need to do. And I think we need to keep drilling that right into the skull until we wake up and get it right. Until we shift ourselves from under this corporate crap and reposition ourselves and establish it in a way that it can become recognized. Moving forward on that platform, it is an absolute waste of time. Seriously.
Now I want to leave it over to His Excellency Daniel Z Basra. It is
Hold
a hard.
on. One more thing. I'm not gonna make a statement or nothing.
Yes.
What we did there today.
Yes.
Is one of the most exciting things I've experienced in a very long time. I would love to see this. No, seriously.
Yes,
this
sir.
is substantive conversation, guys.
Yes, sir.
I would love to see this on a Zoom call. That televised, because I love the diversity of opinion, and I think Jamaicans can learn by hearing us have this dialogue. I've never heard this before. Different attitudes and different conversations about what we're talking about.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, Daniel, go through.
Mr. Daniel Z Basra, please, His Excellency, take it over for me.
Well, as Mark said, we are going through the pains of birth. We're going through birthing pangs. You see, but at least the fact is we're going through them, meaning there's something coming forth. We are not yet sure of what is coming forth. We don't even know if it's a boy or a girl, but something is coming forth.
Yes.
My God.
Hello,
what we need to do is, irrespective if it's a boy or a girl, as genuine loving parents, we need to set things and prepare foundations for whatever comes forth. And the only foundation that you can set for whatever comes forth is to liberate people from under the scam that has had them, because that is the fact of the matter is, what we're discussing here, and the whole scam of your status, whether you're a citizen of Jamaica or you're a sovereign, all of that is the very crux of the game. This is the highest level. This is the information that they make them take secret oaths in the land so they can tell people. This is the crux of the game. This is it. So
You just run over something a while ago, Excellency, because this is what a lot of our politicians are working through. With all respect to the Freemasons and everything, but the Lodge cannot rule the country. And a lot of these politicians are fully pledged. They're fully pledged members of the Lodge, the club, and the club, aka the cabal, have a different agenda than the people. So I think you sweep over it, but that's for a different show, Excellency. Put at the final.
Yeah, man, but that's the reality.
Yes.
But you are left with instruments of your own liberation, being your own awareness.
Yes.
The instrument of your liberation is your own awareness, and your will to act upon that awareness.
Yes.
So if there's no way that I would be aware, that we can be aware that these people have crafted us and have us under contract and we don't know, and you're comfortable trying to work with it, you want to free yourself from it, because it is what limits any possibility of you liberating yourself once you're operating as them under their documents.
Wow.
Because the fact of the matter is, Mark one fly come to Jamaica, I'm going to use it, I'm American, and then Jamaican
Have to use
passport.
a document. Have to use a document. Have to.
If I didn't know I was under a document, if I didn't know, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't know.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Basra, you go up at Mark Yard, you eat soursop, you drink carrot juice with beetroot, and you never sit down and you hear Mark saying one run for some political arena, and you never tell Mark say he document him and walk up and down belong to somebody else, Daniel.
Everything.
Jesus.
Mr. Try cheat in the country.
Why?
It doesn't mean it does not mean on any level that Mark's intent is the any less honorable.
Yes, sir.
His intent is just as honorable with this information I present, or without it. His intent is genuinely honorable.
Yes, sir.
But that alone never cut it. You understand? So, as it is now, because we are constantly growing and every day we are learning.
Yes, sir.
As it is now, same, he's now being made aware of that. That listen, this is it, because at the end of the day, they're going to pull these cards on you.
Yes.
They are going to, because it's not what you're doing is not what they want, you know. So since it's not what they want, you have to play by the rules. And these rules are not determined necessarily by them. These rules are following tenets of universal law, natural law, and maxims. These are what they are following. They're just knowing how to understanding it. They're manipulating you because it's you sign yourself away, you know.
Yes.
Or your mother signed the birth certificate, you know.
Yeah.
They did not force or put a gun to our head. So Dracula can't come in your house unless you invite him. If you're not inviting him, have to steer your door.
We have to leave it here today, gentlemen.
Says that
continue.
you guys need to come out, Daniel, like what you say, come out with the teaching and them things. Because if me go to my 83-year-old mother right now and say these things to her, she look at me like me's a fool. Like, what the hell are you talking about? So people are them born in night, I saw them go, them don't know nothing about it. So you have to push it out there and you have to teach the people then.
And the second thing that you must remember is not just that, you know, Michelle. Here's the next thing to it, nobody wants to admit. They're embarrassed that they were deceived for so long, and even when it's in front of them, they're scared to even admit that shit was tricked.
No, but we're all embarrassed. We're all embarrassed.
No, we might take a different approach, but the average person out there, in his ego,
pride,
directed.
Pride is the only disease known to man that means everyone's sick excepting the person who has it.
Right now, the vaccinated, them embarrassed.
Yo, can we? Hey, listen, Jesus, please.
So the same way the vaccinated embarrassed, the Jamaicans who have taken all these documents and both panic and say, yeah, man, me get my license, you know, and I go for my passport, and I go for my birth. Yeah, they are now going to that level of embarrassment I wash over them too to realize that they were in France.
Yeah. We have a situation here, people, but we have to continue tomorrow. Mark, thank you so much for standing in the seat, and I think that is what leadership is meant to be, talking to your people. Mr. Patterson did not make it over because he had a few honeybee that he's attending to. Of course, Neela Blaze, Daniel Z. Basra, the Queen Michelle rolling with the Lion Pack, Imara, you know what I mean, and Sister Iota. Thank you all so much for your energetic participation, man.
And like what Mark said, we need to try to get this on Zoom or something, so you really can have a panel and let people be aware. And know.
It's getting there. It
needs to be there, Brethren. It needs to hook it up soon and we can do it, because when the pot hot in, Brethren, you have to move it. When
Yes, man. I'll tell you what. I will do this because I can do it via participation in we see each other, so I can do that tomorrow. The technology is right there and we can put it out via Zoom, but it's every morning from 10 till 2 we bring some energy.
YouTube, Facebook, everything one time.
I have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to put out my Zoom link on it also for tomorrow. So everything is working, Gross. I would ask you all to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, you know what I mean, because that's very important. And, you know, build that momentum. I put out the link to you. Watch the show. I watch this show like 2 o'clock in the morning. I love watching the show like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because that's when I sip some tea and listen to the genealogy of our people. Mark, you're excellent. Michelle, you're beautiful. You know what I mean? Yo, Neela Blaze is a natural. Daniel Z. Basra again is a natural. All of us is like a gel together, and I love it. Let's keep working together, man.
Definitely. See the determination at the same I do the reasoning right now. See, it just encouraged me even more because it's like the divine tell me the moment this brother understand what we are put to him with the same people person.
Yes.
He might go become an unstoppable force.
Yes.
See, and then he might identify himself as the true child of the tribes of Israel. Because that's how it really go.
Yes.
See, so he can really see him towards the earth and realize him have a far reach as a united front. Saying, because I know my brother don't know that him can use a maroon ID and fly. See, him not need
Neela Blaze, tomorrow morning when I call your office, please clear your desk tomorrow, boss, because there's a lot of things on your desk you need to put forward. Mark, as usual, as I said before, more work to do. I'm going to call Mr. Patterson and see if we can reschedule. And of course, Michelle, I've got to go get my little son. But as usual, thank you so much all for joining us.
Yeah, man, cool. Respect.
You can talk on the line. Yeah, while they're talking on the line right there. You know, Florida is beautiful. This is yours truly, Ras Gadites. And join us tomorrow when we do it all over again. All right, let's go.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
Fresh Radio Vibes, the most feared internet radio station on planet Earth, the resistant radio station. Fresh Radio Vibes. Fresh Radio Vibes. Fresh Radio Vibes, the most feared internet radio station on planet Earth, the resistant radio station. Fresh Radio Vibes.
Accountable. We the people gonna hold the pharmaceutical companies accountable. Mr. Constable. Accountable. We the people gonna hold the world leaders and scientists accountable. Tell the Queen's Council. Accountable. With them rush vaccine, Pfizer vaccine, them no care if it hurt you. What that mean? Accountable. Tell the constable.